What's happening, guys? If you love this podcast and you really want to support us, you can go to haveawordpod.com. You can get yourself some merch, something like this hoodie, something like that t-shirt. There's plenty of stuff for you to go and have a look at there. There's also links so you can buy tickets to the Have a Word live shows and also tickets to mine and Dan's tour shows if you want to come and see us do stand-up. That's all at haveawordpod.com.
We also do an extra episode of the podcast every week on patreon.com/haveawordpod. Sign up on Patreon, get the exclusive Patreon episode. There's also some discounts on merch, discount on live tickets, but the extra episode is only on Patreon. That's patreon.com/haveawordpod.
Bye, Felicia. Bye. Number 4, right?
I was so ready for some childish swear word, and he starts like a fucking like your dad sitting you down for a chat. You know, before when you were having feelings in your special place, I honestly thought you were going to start with like big tits or something. You know, before.
Oh, well, before I was in Carl's washing my hands, right?
Hi everyone,
and
welcome.
Like it was too hot, so I turned the tap to cold, and I was like, How does the tap get the water to be that cold so quickly?
Oh my God.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how does it, like...
If you'd have asked me to guess how this pod was going to start, how did the tap make the water hot and cold? Where does the rain come from? Is it God doing a wee-wee? So go on, what's your official question?
So it's dead hot in it, so then you turn it to cold. But like, it's like the tap already knew you were about to do that because it gets so cold so quickly. How does it know to stop making it hot?
Yeah. So you're talking about one of them hot and cold through the same pipe rather than the two separate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's water's just cold, isn't it?
So yeah, but how does it know to stop making it hot like so quickly?
The tap doesn't make the water hot.
There's just a valve in it.
I know, guys. I'm just fucking around, aren't I?
Oh, right. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ. I'm quite intelligent, you know. God. Yeah, but you don't give me any credit, you two.
Yeah, because you start podcasts like that. I was like, are we really dealing with this? I was like, I don't know. Jesus Christ. Do you remember last week it was just bumholes? How did the taps work? Is the thunder when God is angry? Are you, mate? You all right?
I'm okay, mate, yeah. I do believe like the weather and that is related to some sort of spiritual realm.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what I mean?
What?
Do you ever like just notice like when you're in a bad mood it's always raining?
Have you had a spliff? What did you do when you went to the range? What have you done? Some Runcorn drug dealer has sold you some fucking a flathead screwdriver and some ganja. When you're a kid, though, you can understand how mythology has got like to where it is. So if you're in Greece, I mean, that's like a Mediterranean climate, isn't it? It's fucking, when they get thunderstorms. I remember being in Cyprus for one of those army gigs, and there was not a night, there was a lightning storm, and it was coming in off the coast. And you were like, you know, when you hear it, you can either go, oh, fuck it, I'll just go back to sleep. It was so ridiculous. I just got up at 3 a.m. and sat in front of the pool and watched it happen coming in. We were on a hill. You can understand how 3,000 years ago in like ancient Greece, they were like, the gods are angry.
Yeah.
Zeus, he is the main god. He rains down his lightning bolts. It like totally makes sense. And now like, well, Hades is death, light, and like, don't understand what that is. That's where you go when you're dead if you're good. And then under there, that burns. That's hot, hell, stingy, oh, awful. That's where you go if you're bad. You can almost see how it works. But in 2020, just get on. Like, come on. Come on. You shouldn't still be thinking like oh
there's those guys, isn't there, that like a couple of years ago were like, we're getting... Global warming is because God is upset that gay people are getting married. That's what it is. And it's like... Like, there's no evidence of that because obviously it's not true. But like, how wrapped up in your opinions have you got to be to see it raining and go, I know?
God, I hate gays.
Is it because of the famine? Is it because there's world wars and like we're bombing Yemeni children to death? No, it's because Tom and Dave are bombing during wedlock.
They're trying to get married in a church. And look what's happening. Flooding in Bangladesh. What do you think about the Holocaust? Do you think that affected weather? I'm not really bothered about that. Not bothered about that, but gay weddings, not in my building that I've made a special building. I love it when they that's a church. You can't do a comedy gig in it. You can't swear in a church. You can't wear denim in a church. You're like, mate, it's a fucking building.
Denim?
Near my house.
You know how to wear denim?
You know, people get pissy about like when you go into church, you got to dress properly, and you can't say
like
that.
Like it's a nightclub in the 90s.
For fuck's sake. It's just a building that you made a special place.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, well, I was a cunt in a comedy club. Well, that's my church. That's my special place. Don't come to where I am and be a bellend. What a load of shit.
I didn't know there was like a dress code for church ever. I know like back in the days you used to have to wear a hat and that.
I can really see you.
Do you know, like
studying
a bowler,
British
like a
Christianity.
top hat or something? You know what I mean?
That was just everywhere. Men just wore hats.
Yeah, it was sort of better for it, wasn't it? I've seen like pictures of like Liverpool and all the men are wearing hats, and you're like, it looks quite nice.
Is it? Yeah. That's why you never had any skinheads. You didn't need it. You just wore a hat, and that's what I'm trying to bring back.
We were talking about this a bit last night, weren't we? Like the dress code thing from nightclubs, which me and Carl totally missed. We've never had to dress a certain way. There's one rule in Liverpool. I don't know whether I've told you this on the pod yet. A lot of Liverpool nightclubs won't let you in if you've got a visible Hugo Boss logo.
You are getting the bullshit about that.
Okay, go on. Get ready.
Oh no, you've reacted differently.
So you'll queue.
Oh, now you're smiling.
So you'll queue up and they'll go, "That a Hugo Boss lad?" Yeah. Nah, lad. No Hugo Boss. There's like a...
Why? Because they're all big Joe Lycett fans. What's...
Because it's seen as like the Scally brand. Like,
oh, that's so snobby.
Yeah. So, but even like the shittest nightclubs are like not letting you in with Hugo Boss, because if you got Hugo Boss, you've probably also got a fucking Stanley knife.
What about the perfume? What about the aftershave as well? Are they like... Me, is that Boss Orange? Get the fuck out. Davidoff cool water minimum around here. What the fuck? Are you kidding?
You're not even allowed Hugo Boss boxies on. Like if you've got, if Dorman doesn't like a look at you on the way into a club, like I've seen them go, like, pull your boxies up.
No. That's, you're not doing, no one's doing a knicker check.
Ask him.
The nightclubs I used to go to, they used to have a feel around for pills, not for fucking designer labels.
No, they make you like you'll be queuing.
Come off it. I'm not having it.
You have to go
No. This is bullshit. That's not true.
Fucking is that?
Could you imagine if I got mine out and they were like, are them fucking white fronts, lad? I don't give a fuck. They're from next.
You only have to get the top out. You have to show them the brand. You know the brand.
This is a Calvin Klein fucking tidy whiteies.
Right. You know, it's not bullshit. Swear to God.
I've said it before on an earlier podcast. I think making people wear things that they don't want to wear in nearly every walk of life is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unless like you're a nurse. I get if you're a paramedic, you shouldn't be turning up in like sweaties like, you all right? You having a heart attack? Yeah, I'm just wearing my joggers. They're dead comfy. Because, you know, when I get the defibrillator out, I really need to feel relaxed. But I think there should be uniforms for some stuff. Like I wouldn't want to go Mackie D's and have everyone wearing like, you know, dirty, their own clothes and stuff. But I just feel like if you get in that job, you know a uniform is part of it. But when people are like, you can't wear that in this place because we have a rule about what we make grown-ups fucking wear. You know me fucking da.
It's like when a comedy club requests you wear like trousers. I've had that before.
What you paying me, you cunts?
Yeah.
What are you paying me?
You've got to wear trousers and shoes at our club. Well, I'm not doing the gig, am I? Unless you want to, you can pay me more and go and put restriction on. But if you're playing standard comedy club money, I will wear a hoodie on a Saturday with jeans. I'll wear a trackie.
We like our compers to wear a
blazer at least,
shirt and trousers, and that includes the women who we make look like fucking lesbians. Like, No, I can't.
Are you
stand
saying
it.
that women?
Oh, don't do that. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. I've already put my foot in it. You don't need to press my foot down.
Are you saying?
Don't look at it.
Are you saying that women can't wear suits and that they don't belong in them because that's for men and people who are more masculine?
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just highlighting the problem on your side, sisters. I can't stand it. Apart from when it gets to the price threshold. £1,000, we'd like you to wear a suit. All right, I'll wear a fucking chicken suit. For
£1,000, we'd like you to just wear a sock on your dick and come completely.
Oh no, that's £2,000. That's £2,000. That is £2,000. That awful feeling when you're at a corporate gig and they're like, "Well, it's $2,500. Will you do this?" And you're like, "I will for the money."
We've worked in bars before together where they've made us wear like white button-up shirts, and those bars like are just never as fun, are they, to work in? Because first of all, you've got a white shirt on when you're making cocktails, and it's like, if I get a bit of creme de cassis on this, the night is fucking over.
Oh, tell you what, he knows the industry, doesn't he? all the cocktail barman went, fucking Adam know the creme de cassis. Creme de cassis.
We just say
what's
cassis.
that Portuguese jizz? All right.
Yeah, cool people just say cassis.
Yeah, I get how if you're a business, like, I get how you're like, we like our staff to wear black or whatever.
Yeah, but just
because
black
otherwise
t-shirts are sound, aren't they, with like a logo of the bar that you're in on the back, or like a small one or whatever, or even a big one. I'm not really asked, but just
the Stand Comedy Club, you can wear your clothes, and they've got these cheesy waistcoats that you look like you're a member of staff at like a Wacky warehouse or something. But I get it. It's basically like, wear what you want, be sensible, but will you just stick that on so members of the public know that if they drop a glass, they can be like, "Oh, you're wearing a Stand vest, mate, because we've just dropped this." I think that's like a nice half and half, but name badges as well. Name badges, it's so cringy. Like, here at Wilco's, we really like our fucking horrible customers to be able to name you while they're being a cunt to you. It's not enough that you already work for like £8.50 an hour at
and
best.
Also,
Excuse me,
no
Barbara.
one's ever used that information, though, have they? No one ever goes, "Barbara, where's the..." Like, because that would be weird. If you're in Asda and it says, "John, happy to help," you don't go up and go, "Hiya, John, mate, where's the biscuit aisle?" You go over and go, "Excuse me, mate, where's the biscuit aisle?"
Basically, you are just giving a weapon to cunts, because normal, nice people, it almost feels, I don't know if this is just me that makes this up, it almost feels weirdly eggy if you read their name while you're talking to them. Yeah. "Excuse me, Ian, could you show me where the bread is?"
Would you use their name?
Not in that context, but when you're being nice and funny and personable, yeah.
Yeah. But like, it just seems a bit odd. Like, I feel like they'd be like, even though they've got a badge on, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you calling me Ian for?"
Yeah, it happened yesterday. I was in the bank and there was a lady helping me, and she was very like fumbly, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I went, "It's okay, Faye," and she laughed.
Yeah, because you read a tit. Is it just me as a man? It feels like someone's name badge on their tit. It feels like an intrusion. You're like, "Sorry about that, Amanda," and they're like, "Don't you dare read my tit name."
So are you saying women should wear it somewhere else to appease your feelings?
Right on the flaps. So, like, to read the name, you have to be like...
Do you know what I've just remembered, actually? I'm talking a bit of shit, because what you're talking about being, like, personal and that, this really bothered me at the time. So I can't remember where it was.
Tesco?
Let's say it was Tesco. And I was like... and I went, "Oh, thanks, Andrew," or whatever. And he went, "Oh, my name's not Andrew. I've just borrowed someone's badge." And I went, "Well, then what is the fucking point of having someone else's name on you?"
Yeah.
So you just have to wear a badge?
Because he's nicking Gillette Mach 3 blades, that's why. Andrew, we're going to have to speak to you in the office. We found Gillette Mach 3 blades in your backpack before you go home. Like, all right, cool. Can we do that meeting tomorrow?
Little side note, by the way. You mentioned the Wacky Warehouse there. Why is there no adult Wacky Warehouse?
What?
You mentioned the Wacky Warehouse before, and I haven't stopped thinking about the Wacky Warehouse since you said it. Because I want to go to the Wacky Warehouse, but I
mean, they're meant to be for kids, aren't they? Those sort of like
meant to be
inflatable parks.
Yeah, but the Wacky Warehouse is like indoors, wasn't it? And like slides,
a ball pool and a slide. But now they've raised the game of children's entertainment centres to the state that it's almost worth the ball ache of having a kid just to be able to take them to an inflatable fuck around park.
Yeah,
Runcorn's got one, and I'm not joking, if we ever get the chance, we should go around the corner. It's a tenner. You get 2 hours in it, and it is absolutely tremendous. Massive inflatables, slides, 2 huge
And you're
ball
allowed on it as an
poles.
adult?
Yeah, it's not for kids. It's an inflatable park. There will be, after 6 p.m., like an adult-only zone. Because sometimes you're in there, like my big fear as a dad of a small kid is, this is why we don't go on the school holidays. Because this is like the kiddies bit, the little kiddies bit. But you can't tell my 3-year-old, like, stay in this smaller shit bit when she's like, look at that fucking slide. And then there's some some 13-year-olds who are basically going from rugby practice to the fucking inflatable park. They're like tackling each other, like, this is what we play for. Bang. And then my daughter, who's got no sense of danger, is like, la la la, ooh, big boys. I hate that, but I honestly, it's so fun. You're meant to sort of have a kid, I think, in the day, but I don't think there's any rules.
Have you been to like a christening? Like, you know, like a Sunday afternoon christening, and it's like they've booked like a function room and they've got the kids a bouncy castle. It's always good that like half an hour where they go, kids all get off because let's have the adults have a go, and you just get like drop kick your mates and all that.
It's basically like,
it's phenomenal though, isn't it? There's not
a mosh pit. Like,
yeah, it's fucking great. Is that a thing, by the way? I remember asking someone else this a while back.
You are full of questions today, Adam. So many questions.
I've got a weird buzzy energy, and I've had a coffee for the first time in 2 weeks. So, right,
love it.
I
love it when he's like,
is a christening party a thing for you? Like, when Etta got christened, did you have a party?
When Etta got what?
Is she not christened?
Is she fuck christened?
Why?
Because I'm not having her indoctrinated into that shit before
but
she
you can
chooses
get them into better
to...
schools when they're christened, can't you?
Oh, God, it makes me so angry.
Yeah, but...
She's not christened, and I'm going to fight my damnedest to stop her being christened. We're not really this religion. Amen. Wearing pants. Now you're this religion as well. Water on the head. What the fuck are we doing? Just because she wants to go to a C of E school round the corner. Just so we
Are you christened?
Yes, to get in my... I like my high school. Hutton's C of E. And if you defo want to get in, they take in some non-christened... what is it? Like Anglican or whatever. Not Anglican. What do I mean? Church of England. But yeah, it was... if you want to be clever, you get christened. So I got christened at 8 in a me getting christened at 8. My dad is so atheist. My mum was religious, but my dad was like, fuck that, never, fuck that. It was like, you know, when Deco became like, you know, when these Portuguese players become Brazilian players. It was like that. Like, you know, like the African lads who play for like Russia, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like when France won the World Cup at like Patrick Vieira, and even on his like football sticker it said place of birth, Senegal. Like there was loads of African players in the French team.
It really, like, at that point I'd already played for the under 23s in atheism. But then I'm getting a full cap at being C of E.
That's
it felt like that.
Beautiful reference, that.
Yeah. So I didn't, and I don't want to put my kids through it. I will because of that's how our stupid school system works. And honestly, if there was a load of shit primary schools in Measures and there was a Muslim faith school, I'd have Laura in a fucking burqa, and we'd be turning up like you know, salam alaikum, because that is how ridiculous the British education system is. You've got linked to fake religion that you're not. I get it if you are genuinely religious, but I'm into Zooth because, you know, when he's angry, lightning bolts. Where's my primary school?
I would get my kid christened to get them into a good school. I would, but I would be like saying to them the whole time, like, not during the christening, like, no, this is all bullshit. No, it's all bullshit. But like throughout their life.
Can you imagine if like, and we do this in the name of the Father? Bullshit.
Like while they were in school.
Bullshit.
I would like tell them, you're going to be doing a lesson called RE, religious education, and you just need to know, like, you don't need to believe that stuff. Like, I don't, your ma doesn't. I might, do you know what I mean? Like, just shut up.
Yeah.
It's sound. And you don't have to do your RE homework. I tell them that as well. You don't have to do your RE homework. If you get homework for RE, you don't have to do it.
It's good studying RE because it's not just your religion, is it? It's other religions as well.
Someone said that to us, right? Do you remember getting taught about any other religion in school? Because we went to the same school. I feel like it was pretty Catholic heavy.
Yeah. Because Catholics are like the ultras of Christianity, aren't they? They're not fucking about like, what about Islam? You dirty little bastard. Fucking talk about that shite.
Have I told you the story about St. Eddie's when I tried to get in?
No.
So there's a private, it's not private, semi-private, nice school in our area called St. Edward's.
You have to do an interview to get in, don't you?
Yeah. So I got through the interview.
Do you love God? Jesus, I love God. You're in.
You had to get a letter from the priest of your parish.
St. Eddie's.
St. Edward's.
So like a right fucking... Yeah, he's the patron saint of fucking tracky bottoms. St. Eddie's. We've got some different fucking saints in Liverpool. St. Eddie's, St. Darren. St. Daz is fucking sound. He's the patron saint of like fucking 10 bags of weed.
St. John.
St. Lad.
But you had to get a letter from the priest, and I don't go to church. I'm an atheist too. So
why didn't you just make a fake letter?
So I was a fucking 11-year-old child.
Yeah. What kind of fucking future deviant writes a letter? My name is Father Lemo, and I think fucking Carl is a dead good lad. He loves Jesus. He doesn't think Jesus is a nonce. Lots of love, Father Lemo. P.S. Defo let him in the school. Everton forever.
Oh, dear.
What kind of fucking future bank robber would be capable of that level of lie? Fucking, I'm getting St. Eddie's now, mate. Signed, Duncan Ferguson. Have you got a letter from the priest? No. Well, fucking club legend.
Let me just write the time down.
Anyway, so I had to pretend I went to the church. So for 2 weeks, me and my mum, we were like, we'll go to church for 2 weeks so the priest knows.
Did you just go to the churches and just take selfies and that?
Yeah. Anyway.
That's what we did. We had to go for an interview,
Yeah.
sit down, cup of tea in a vicar's house, in the house.
Yeah. So we'll go for 2 weeks, we'll make our face known, and then we'll say, hiya, I need a letter, blah, blah, blah. So the first time we went, it's like, we'll go on this day, I can't remember what day it was. St. Paul's, my local parish. Me and mum go in. I don't know the fucking schedule of the church.
Yeah.
We just went at some time, and we sit at the front, and we're like, right, if the priest comes out, we'll just like say what's happening, and that's how he sees us. So,
Yeah. So you went to the church because you needed the priest to sign this letter. So you were
He's
like, I
never
need to make sure the priest notices me.
yeah, I needed to make me face known about town in the fucking church world.
Father,
No, you should have done.
I love God.
Should have wore some denim.
And the priest comes out doing the fucking rock eyebrow.
In my church, like, oh, sorry, lad, we're here every week. I always wear denim. Didn't know it was a problem. Then you're in.
We're sitting there. We're the only people in there, and it slowly starts like filling up, but like sporadically. A
Yeah.
little bit. I'm like, oh, there must be like a service. I don't know what the script is. I've never been.
Oh my God, no.
So people start like sitting. I'm like, oh, the priest will be here any minute. So we're sitting on the second row. This is the God's honest truth.
I know what's coming.
The front row on the other side films, and then a couple in front of us film. Oh, there must be like a fucking showing.
Did you sit on the second row, you said?
A showing?
Yeah, but you know, like, he's done the comedy club thing. He sat on the second row because he didn't want to get picked on. When the priest starts coming out, doing his crowd work, gives Jid been before. He's like, yeah, me every week.
Give us a cheer, baby. Who's drinking the body of Christ? The blood of Christ? Oh, mate, amazing.
So, anyway, we're sitting there and it's filling up. And then
the priest doing the fucking comparing. What's your name? What's your job?
Are you a couple? Are you married? Well, then get out in my church. You're living in sin.
Sorry.
the music starts, like the intro music, whatever it is, and it sounds a bit dark.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? It's quite like, and I know church isn't a happy place per se, but like it's a bit like dim.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird, isn't it? So we turn round.
Everyone's crying like, Jesus, they really take Catholicism fucking seriously in this one.
As we turn round, a coffin comes through the door.
Oh, yeah. Did you wonder why all the guys were doing a Reservoir Dogs tribute in fucking black ties and white shirts?
No, but it wasn't like an obvious funeral. It's probably like someone old who hasn't got many people. It wasn't like a you know what I mean? Like
An obvious
An obvious
I know exactly
You know
what
what I
it
mean?
means, mate. If you die young, you have a banging funeral.
Yeah.
The younger you die, the bigger your funeral. By the time you're like 90, it's like a Tuesday night at a shit comedy club. No one's in there. If you die at 15, fuck me, it's Saturday night and it's banging.
But you know what happened? So usually this is a bit morbid, when you carry a coffin, it's high, isn't it? It's on your shoulder and it's slow.
Right.
He must have been a big lad because it came in low.
Yeah.
Like they were holding it low and he opened the door with it.
You sure it wasn't a raid and they were just fucking like a SWAT team?
What?
Gosh!
How did he die? How the fuck do you think he died? Big fat bastard.
So we just like slithered across the pew and got off.
So sorry for your loss. Father, we need a letter. All right. What do you say? No denim. Right next time.
We came back the next week and we told him the story and he laughed and he gave us the letter.
Oh, good lad.
How have we been best friends for 12 fucking years and I don't know that story?
He gave us the letter based on that. He was like, fair play, like that. I get that must have been difficult.
Oh, man.
Gave me the letter.
We actually had to go and sit in the vicar's house and you weren't allowed to just do it once. You had to go a couple of times. Ugh, what a stupid fucking
Do you reckon
system.
that's not really the tradition, but they just like, they get a bit lonely? And they're like,
I don't
come
think
round
he
a few
wanted
times.
to do it. It's just a really like, really fusty, like early 90s, stupid old fashioned system. Just horrible. I look at my life then and I'm looking at my life now, like sitting in a comedy club last night, absolutely ripping the shit. And you're like, oh, it's being a grown up so much better, innit? No one gets to go, can we go and sit in a vicar's house for an hour and cringe so you want to eat your own face? Now I just get to sit around at hot water having the fucking time of my life.
I suppose like vicars don't get that lonely because they can get married and that, can't they? Like priests can't even wank.
I feel like there is a natural progression for this conversation. And I don't think I'm emotionally ready for it.
Are you talking? Yeah. But like priests aren't meant to do that, are they?
What? Touch kids? Yeah. It's not, yeah, that's not allowed.
Like, they turn a blind eye to it, but it's not like...
I mean, they have done.
Yeah, it's not like... It's not part of the contract, is it? Do you know what I mean? like... they're meant to not, like...
No, yeah, it is morally and like legally.
But even, like, wanking, they're not allowed to do that either.
I don't know. Where's that in the Bible? Which chapter of the New Testament?
Well, you're not meant to wank at all if you're super religious, and you're not allowed to get married because you're married to God, aren't you? You're married to the church.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Priests aren't married.
That's nuns.
Nuns are married to God.
Right, but
they're married to God.
Priests aren't allowed.
Yeah, but they're not married. That'd be a gay marriage, wouldn't it?
What?
That'd be a gay marriage.
Yeah, I don't think they're. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Are you
I know
saying
what you mean.
God's a man?
Yeah.
Well,
oh God.
He's a black man called Morgan Freeman.
Very nicely done. I really feel like we skirted around child sex abuse scandal and went into an Evan Almighty reference very smoothly there, Carl. I'm glad you're on board. Fucking hot water was good last night, wasn't it? Genuinely, I just like so fun.
It was, and yeah, you pissed me off. So we did hot water together last night. Two shows. The early show was good, and then the late show. So it was me, Danny McLaughlin, who we've mentioned a few times, and Paul Smith, who's already been on as a guest. I'm sure you all know who he is. And a fucking good builder. Like that crowd is getting a good night. That's like four absolute killers who can also do crowd work. But we've mentioned on the podcast before, for those uninitiated with comedy, the middle spot on a bill is the easiest spot on the bill.
If there's 3 acts,
yeah, it's the easiest one to do. And there's a handful of comedians who shouldn't be allowed to do that spot because the gig is over before the headliner goes on. Now, last night, I was asked to headline the gig. I was asked to close, and they put this cunt in the middle, and he just decided to have the best gig I've seen anyone have at Hot Water in about 4 years. I was stood at the back with Becca, my mate, and I didn't even say anything. And at one point, she just rubbed me back and said, "It'll be okay."
That's such a funny snap. It was cracking. and it was great because I brought back a bit. We've been talking about it on the pod a lot. Which bits are you bringing back? Which bits are you dumping? What are your new bits that you're taking forward? It's so exciting at the moment being a stand-up. We were saying last night, like, you're going on stage going, it's better to be a bit looser. Your old stuff feels unpracticed. Your new stuff is weirdly fresh because that's the stuff you thought of during the lockdown. And then that fighting a child bit, I sort of dumped it a year ago. I had it for about 6 months and I was like, it's not working. And it's the weirdest thing. Time and the lockdown has made me go, I really want to bring that back. And I just thought I'd try it last night. And as I was halfway through it going, holy shit, how do I drop this bit? It was so much fun. It was so good. But not just that, because we were talking about being in the dressing room area and sitting around. We knew we'd miss it. And I've even like got in the car ready to do a drive and put my iPod on and thought, I'm going to ring Barry Dodds or something, and gone, oh, God, this is fun. Like the ritual, but sitting there last night all cracking on and...
Sitting in the green room, just like talking shit. Like, we say a lot of stuff on this podcast, and especially on the Patreon. If you haven't signed up to Patreon yet, again, little plug, patreon.com/haveawordpod. You get an extra episode every week. And we go a bit further on the Patreon because we know that they're the biggest fans of the podcast, the biggest fans of us. And we say some shit that we probably shouldn't say and make it available for public download. But when you put 4 comedians in a green room and no one can ever hear that again, some of the shit that gets said, because you're just all trying to top each other, you're trying to be the most ridiculous and the most out there. I've missed it. Like, I thought I missed gigging, just being on stage. And I absolutely have missed being on stage. But I think I've missed that more. Yeah. That backstage, especially at clubs like Hot Water or the Comedy Store or the Glee, where they have like 2 shows in a day. When there's a few and you're not just turning up, you all do your set and dart off. When you've got to get there for 7 o'clock to do an early show, then a break, and then a late show, and you're all just there for a few hours and you can really get into being mates and having a laugh again. It's cathartic, isn't it? It's just fucking sick, and I love it. And yeah,
if it was put out as a record, people would be like, well, why don't you do that as a podcast? Because what was it John Bishop said? That he's never met a comedian that's like...
Couldn't believe that. So John Bishop did an interview and Chortle picked it up, right? So Chortle's like a comedy industry website. John Bishop said, I respect every comedian I've ever met. I've never heard a comedian be judgmental about another comic.
I don't think you've played Hot Water when me, Adam, and Danny Mack are in the same fucking room.
You just, like...
upset me.
Comedians are cunts. Funny, lovely cunts, but cunts.
It's a bit like, footballers. You're telling me Messi plays fucking like Real Zaragoza and don't go, God, just quietly like leans fucking over to Suarez, go, a fucking right bag's dog shit, innit? You know what I mean? Like, he's proper fucking...
Yeah, you don't slag people off to their face as a comedian because we're nice. You do it behind the back because you sound that.
Or you do it on a Patreon episode of a podcast. How's your head doing? Because things been going on, hasn't it?
Yeah, we won't make a massive deal of this, but our regular listeners, the people who've been in with this from day one, will know, Dan has got a wife and child, and his wife is called Laura, and we've mentioned our partners a lot in it. I've mentioned Jade, who we've broke up, and it was time to do it. I care for her so much. I'm glad we've done it in a way that we can go away and not hate each other and try and move on properly and all that. But it was just time to call it a day. And it's horrible. Breakups are horrible. They're never nice. It was an awful conversation and whatever. But it's the right thing for both of us. And they're just shit, aren't they? But it's done now. And I feel like that our partners have been so intertwined with the way we talk on this podcast. Yep. I wasn't necessarily going to tell everyone the week of, but it only takes us to go to do a reference or to get a question this week, like, what does Jade think of this?
Feels disingenuous to be like, yeah.
And we've always been so honest with our listeners. Like, it's over. Yeah. And yeah.
I've got news as well. I've pied Laura off as well. She's been doing my fucking head in. So I just think it's a clean break for both of us, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's me and you.
She's always like, responsibilities. We've got a kid, like, bore off. Do you know?
And we're adding a £15 tier to the Patreon where you can suck our dicks.
No, I just like, you know what? I've actually made myself. I'm like, and now, even though I'm like a comedian, I'm like, babe, I'm only joking. I love you so much. Love you so much. I love you. Thanks for being amazing. Yeah. All right. Well, it's a reality, and it's so funny that this podcast is so like, we talk about our lives so much, and it's like other podcasts are like, well, we're going to talk about murderers, or we're going to talk about sports. Ours is our life, and what's been going on.
I felt
and
the
you
need
felt
to
like
do
you
this
need
today,
to like,
and I haven't told my little brother yet. It felt more important to tell our listenership than our Jack.
So,
it's for the best. We're both going to be a lot happier.
Yeah.
And that's genuinely the truth.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys. I love you all. Oh, one thing. Do us a favour. I know how lovely our listeners are, and there might be a temptation here to send me a tweet going, sorry to hear about you and Jade, blah, blah, blah. Do us a favour. Don't do that. I don't need it. I'm okay. I've got a great support network around me. And I also, the less I can think about it, the better. And also, I don't want her to see it and be like, oh, he's getting a lot of support from fans and whatever, and get upset at anything. So I really appreciate any of those thoughts, but you can keep them to yourself if that's okay.
all right. Cool. Let's have a little short break, and we'll be back with some nonsense.
What's happening, guys? Today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped are the best male grooming products on the planet. They've only just launched in the UK. They've sent me and Dan a razor each, and I've got to say, proper top tier stuff. This is the best razor I've ever used. It's the first time I've ever shaved me balls and not snagged the bag. They're good, aren't they?
I get the little, I get a little bit of like over the pubes tub, and I nick that. I've just been using an old head trimmer. I've used this, and you're like, oh, that's a slide, that's a glide, so you don't get that sting in the shower.
Yeah, it's horrible, that. When you get like a little cut on your bag, and then you get a bit of ball sweat seeping into the cut, and you get sweaty sting.
Keep talking sexy, Adam. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. This is it. They've engineered the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. It's the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, and it's just been released in the UK. It's smart as fuck. This is their third generation trimmer. It features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce manscaping accidents.
And when I'm saying this is the best razor I've ever used, I'm not messing, I know it's easy to say that when you're getting sponsored by a company, but it's really, really, really good. The battery's amazing. It lasts for an hour and a half, so you can shave for longer. It's water resistant. You can use it in the shower. You don't have to be shaving, stood over the toilet anymore. It's sick.
One of the coolest features is the LED light. It illuminates the way as you shave along so you don't get any nasty nicks. And they've just got an upgraded 7,000 RPM quiet stroke motor. The nicest bit, you get a load of kit when you get this sent to you, but the charging stand is charged by USB, and it looks sleek as fuck. So you're not getting any whinging from your partner, your missus. It's going to sit in the bathroom. You're going to be proud of it.
Look, don't take our word for it. If you're listening to this, watching it, pause the podcast here, go and order one for us. And they don't just sell razors. You can get all sorts of male grooming products from manscaped.com and experience it for yourself. It's really, really good. Your balls will thank you.
This is the important bit. Every listener of Have a Word gets 20% off. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WORD. That's WORD, W-O-R-D, at manscaped.com. And make sure you use that code, otherwise they won't know that we sent you.
That's right, 20% off, free shipping all over the UK and in America, actually. But you can use the code WORD. WORD, that's W-O-R-D. We should have picked a different word, because code word just sounds clunky, doesn't it?
You're not thick. You get it. Word.
It's word. Time to shave those balls.
Should I shave yours now? Adam, should I shave yours? We'll just do that now. We'll show you. Oh, don't. You're meant to flinch. Perv. Okay. Got a couple of questions.
Welcome back.
I think this is going to be an interesting one. We've just been talking about gigging at Hot Water. Dan Johnson. Hiya, Dan. You email in quite regularly, and they're really good questions and suggestions. He says, eyelids, I was just watching videos on YouTube from Hot Water, and it made me think of the success that they've had from their online presence and genuinely launching the careers of Paul and even Freddie Quinn. All right, Dan, let's not get carried away. I have noticed, though, that some bits are on there in full. A solid 14-minute routine for Freddie, and then only the occasional bit of Dan and Adam's. You mentioned about burning of material and when it's been put on a special, and I was interested to know how Hot Water go about distribution of people's materials. Do you have to agree to allow them to burn a bit by posting it? And more importantly, how do you work with them to decide which bits you bang on YouTube? So it's a good question. I like it. I like how, because we talk about stand-up and people are watching this on YouTube, they're also going out and finding the Hot Water's online presence has made Hot Water what it is, the Facebook videos, the YouTube videos. I love it how they're then going, well, hang on, why is there only shorter bits here, but huge long bits there?
So the answer is Hot Water film everything. Every single moment of every show is filmed. And they at the minute, obviously things are a bit in flux because of COVID and that, but they had a system in place where backstage there was a sheet, and if you were one of the comedians on the night, you just put you'd put your name on it and go, the bit about sausage rolls, I'd like that to go on YouTube. And if you didn't fill one of those forms in, you just nothing went online. They had their Monday night shows where they used to have like 9 acts on doing 5 minutes each. They were specifically for filming. So the idea was if you go down on a Monday, you're going to film a 5-minute set to go on YouTube. And you sort of had to let them use that because they were like, that's the night. We'll always have 9 videos a week going online then. The reason Freddie will have had a long go on there is what's probably happened is Freddie's done either a bit of crowd work or a 14-minute bit of material. And it's gone really well one night. And he's probably gone, that bit's never gone that well. So I might as well use that recording. And then he'll ask them to put it online. And the way they do it is they put everything, I believe, on YouTube. Every clip goes on YouTube. And then the ones that do well on YouTube, they put on social media.
And I've got an agreement. I don't know where Adam is. Like, they've asked me several times, what can I put up? And I say, everything. If you think there's a good clip, stick it on. Now, I'm getting ready to film, like, a 45-minute hour special, not a special, a mini special, because I want to get some content filmed properly. And there's a couple of clips that they've got up there that I might ask them to bring down because it's going to clash. They're fine with that. I'm happy. I've been doing it a while, but I love this online content thing. I think it's great, brilliant, and I'm all for it. Sometimes there are little issues with like, oh, hang on, I'm trying to produce that and it's the same as this, but that's fine because you've got a good relationship with the people. I would never let some comedy clubs whack my material online. No. It's a special relationship you've got with Hot Water. It's the same with the Frog and Bucket in Manchester. But it also relies on me being able to go, hang on, can I take that down? I don't like that bit. And they're so sound with it. But those bits that happen in the moment with the crowd, oh my God, stick them all up line.
Oh, yeah,
because they're gone. They can't be repeated.
Totally. So what I say to them is any comparing or crowd work can go online, but just don't put any material on unless I ask for it. And they're like sound. So I'm making a conscious effort now as gigs are coming back. Obviously, we've brought Carl in to produce this, but, you know, there's not a million hours of work in a week, and we need to give Carl a full-time job because we need him here. We can't tell Carl, we'll give you a few hours, but you need to find a full-time thing because as this grows, we're going to need him more and more. And I said to him, like, from now on, I think I'm just going to take Carl to every gig with me and film absolutely everything I do. Because the amount of times I do the Glee in Birmingham or the Frog and Bucket in Manchester or a comedy club that just don't have their own cameras up. And you do a bit of crowd work and you destroy it. You like, and that'll never happen again because it relies on that heckle or that thing from the audience.
Yeah.
And
such a shame, isn't it? It just gets lost into the fucking
exactly.
ether.
And, you know, it's sort of a bit shit that the industry has gone this way that you feel like everything has to be sort of become a commodity and monetized, or not monetized, but be turned into content. You can't just live in the live moment. And you will always get more from these moments if you're in the room. There's nothing better than live comedy. We can put all the videos in the world, but the best way to enjoy comedy is in a comedy club, as far as I'm concerned. It's better than big theatres, as far as I'm concerned.
But the best advert for it is those videos, isn't it?
Totally. Ugh. It's how I sell my tickets. Like, I've done bits of TV, as we've talked about, and, you know, a couple of nice things coming up. But people come and see me on tour because of my stand-up videos on the internet.
Yeah.
That's why they come. No one's coming to see me on tour because I did, you know, one of the shows on Channel 4 last year. There's no one going, oh, that I'm now totally into this guy. They find one of your clips and then they find the second one. And if they like both of them, they'll then go to YouTube and go, I want as much of this guy as possible. And then they come on tour. It's the way the industry's gone. You've got to have a lot of stuff available for free for people to consume. That's how it is.
Hey, and if you own a comedy club and you're like, we don't really do that, get on board, because it is the future. And if you want to get left behind, like this is honestly now we're there's still like we're at the tipping point, but it's only going one way. And in 10 years, comedy clubs will see a 4K camera and the recording equipment and the editing software the same way they see
Chairs.
lights, chairs, and a microphone. There are now, I'd say, 3 comedy clubs. Maybe 4, or is it 3 in the UK? There's Hot Water and a couple of others that are trying to do it. And by the way, they're not doing the full works. And they're going, yeah, we could do that. And loads of other clubs going, no, we don't do it. We've never done it. You're like, I don't care what you've never done.
The other
Get
club
on
that I
board.
know really try and do it is Top Secret Comedy Club in London.
Yeah.
They
I forgot about them.
They have one camera at the back and they film everything. They ask people, can they put stuff up? They haven't got the online. It's sort of weird because Hot Water were first to the market with this.
Nailed it.
Their growth means that, for me personally, if I'm gonna put a routine out, not on my own channel, as a comic, selfishly, you want sort of everything to be on your thing. You want to go it be on my YouTube channel and my Facebook, because then it's easier for people to find you that way. But if I'm gonna put it on someone else's thing, you're going to put it on the one that's got 200,000 followers rather than another comedy club that's got 500. I actually think it's quite difficult now because Hot Water started this and then a lot of comedians tried to jump on it and go, well, I'm going to put loads of content out. There's a lot of content out there, but everyone's playing catch up and there's so much out there. But Hot Water's become such a brand, such a recognizable logo and backdrop, like orangey brick wall with the big smile in the middle. People almost see that as a stamp of quality now.
Yeah.
So they'll watch your clip because it's there. Whereas like there'll be people scrolling past videos at Top Secret or somewhere else because they're like, unless they know who you are, they're like, I'm not watching that. But if they go to Hot Water, they'll watch someone they've never heard of because they go, oh, it's there. That place is great. I've
seen those other videos from other clubs and they've got a camera and they've got the editing and it's not the same standard. So even if the bit of material or the comedian's good, they have not got like Hot Water have improved it. I even remember a couple of years ago, I was like, that camera's in the wrong place slightly. Yeah. Guess what? They're fucking geniuses. They worked it out. That I now look at that camera shot and I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so perfect. And you watch the Top Secret one, the comedian in Brighton, they're doing it, the comedian in Bath, the Frog, and you're like, you've done it, kind of, but it's not right. And you're in it. You're in, like, I think in 10 years, 4K camera setups with editing will be a part of the deal. And there'll be clubs that have just disappeared by the wayside because they were just like, oh, we didn't do it.
I'm definitely going to start doing more crowd work videos from, I naturally now, especially at the minute, because we're just coming back, I go into crowd work even in my sets because I find it fun and exciting.
Feel alive.
Like last night at the early show, I got like 15 minutes in and I just noticed there was a bit of crackle in the room and I was like, what's it? I'll talk about that. And I just started, and the last 10 minutes of my set was not me set.
Yeah.
I was just fucking around and it feels so much more fun. I enjoy doing it. And as you say, you're not actually burning any material because it'll never happen again. And if it does happen again, then you're doing hack shite, aren't you? If you're doing crowd work that could happen tomorrow night, it's probably a bit shit. So the bits that are in the moment like that, when I've gone on tour before, in the past, sometimes I just send my opening act on, I get them to do 20 minutes, then I go on and do my hour. But I think from now on, I'm going to do sort of what Paul Smith does. And I've done this a few times as well.
You did it when we did Chester.
Yeah, go on, compare it. No, not when we did Chester. You compared for me that night, sort of thing. You went on.
Oh, sorry, it was Manchester, wasn't it?
Manchester, yeah. So I go on and I go, I'm going to do 15 to 20 minutes of pure crowd work, none of me tour show, and then go. It makes the opener's job a lot easier, by the way. If you go on and do 15 to 20 minutes and warm them up, and then go, look, I've got a mate with me. He's fucking sick. Here he is. It legitimizes the opener.
You feel like a made man. You're like, Lee, I'm here. He likes me. He's told you that he likes me. Yeah.
And then you go on and you do your tour show. But it does, I tell you what that does noticeably. It makes, when you're on tour, people have paid to see you. And I'm not a big deal by any means. I'm not Paul Smith. I don't play those size venues. But there's still we're going to see Adam Rowe tonight. The first time they see you is when they're their most excited.
Yeah.
So the reason, selfishly, that in the past, the majority of the time I just send the opener on and say, can you just do 20 minutes and warm them up? And then we'll have a break and then I'll go on. Is because
so you save that magic.
It's because when I walk on, they're like, yes, this is the guy we've paid to see. And that first 20 minutes flies because they've still got this guy energy. Oh my God, the guy we've paid to see.
Oh my God, when you did the arena, the big room. Oh my God, when you walked out, because I introed you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that noise when you walked on, even though I was walking off the stage, I got a dick tingle.
Yeah, that was a special night. That 1,300 people who've paid. Like, I get like emotional when there's 80 people in a fucking art centre in fucking Colchester.
Who's drinking?
1,300 people going fucking bananas is something you just never forget. It's very, very, very few human beings will ever know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It'd be bad if you actually cried though, wouldn't it? Like, it's a Victoria's Secret. My fucking auntie's in.
But yeah, you do lose the this guy thing when you do it. When I go on first and compare, you get that for the crowd work.
Right.
But then you lose it for your show. But if your show's good, it doesn't matter. You're still going to smash it. They're still there to see you. But you do lose that. It's about 2%, but it's a noticeable 2%.
Yeah. Mate, it's so good that stand-up's back, innit?
Yeah. It's just...
I fucking love the stand-up's back. Oh, singing. Now, I am annoyed about this, that so many people have given a positive response to last week's Adam's Human Jukebox. Because, I'll be honest, I mean, when you thought Mark Morrison wasn't black was one of the highlights of my week. People have sent in some suggestions. So they want more.
Yeah.
They just need more of your talent.
Cool.
Look, there's no joke in his face. He's like, yes. Yeah, I'm good at this. Hi, lids. This is from Tom Furlong. Sounds like a euphemism.
Yeah.
What? I'd like a bit... I think you're drinking dicks.
I'm not.
I think you're drinking dicks. I'm just because of the periphery, because of my glasses. I'm like, what's he doing? Just think he's like, raw.
I haven't done anything. Oh, I'll sit here.
He says, I'd like a bit of Jamiroquai, Space Cowboy from Adam, the next time you do Adam's Jukebox.
Do you know Jamiroquai is the one I can't do?
What are you on about?
I can't do Jamiroquai. I just can't. I don't know how to do his voice.
This is the return of the Space Cowboy. It's a planetary good vibe zone. Now I'm doing Vic and Bob as well.
I've never been able to do Jamiroquai. He's the one that like I struggle with.
I tell you what, Jamiroquai was like in the middle of Britpop. And everyone, this was when I was like 15, 16, 96, 97. And everyone was like...
hang on, no, it's James Blunt I can't do. Sorry. I don't really know Jamiroquai.
It's the other one that starts with a J.
Yeah, James Blunt's just got too much of a normal voice. You know what I mean?
What's the James Blunt one like? I saw a girl on a train.
You're beautiful. Like I say,
it.
It's not good though, is it?
This is the return of the Space Cowboy. They came out and they were doing like a funk soul, like, and everyone was like, right, I'm Oasis, you're Blur, Oasis, Blur, maybe Pulp, and like Ocean Colour Scene, The Verve. Everyone was into it. And then Jamiroquai came out. What about this? And everyone was like, oh yeah, that as well. Like, everyone loved Space Cowboy, even though everyone was Britpop, indie, and it was all, we were all about it. But literally all of us like, no, yeah, fucking Jamiroquai as well. Well, cool. that guy with have you seen the hats he wore on the live shows? Like an African, and he'd do the dancing. He's got a collection of Ferraris. Cool motherfucker.
Oh, did you see Adele, by the way? Adele's cancelled.
Skinny Adele.
Yeah. I seen a tweet that really made me laugh. It said Adele went from hello to wagwan.
Because she wore the little walnut whips in her hair and put Jamaican flags on a smaller tits.
Yeah. Everyone was like that. Like, well,
Not everyone.
No.
About 3 bellends were like, oh, you're
I seen a combination of people who are from Jamaican heritage going, can everyone shut the fuck up? She literally got a Jamaican to do her hair for her. This is not cultural appropriation because she's actually using Jamaican people and paying them to do this stuff. And then there was other people who were like, well, I still find it offensive. And I'm sure, like, I don't know enough about that to really weigh in on it. But I just think it's so, like...
P.S. Anyone complaining on Twitter hasn't been to the Notting Hill Carnival because that is what it is. And I think anyone who's like who knows the Notting Hill Carnival... My mate used to live in fucking... Not Notting Hill. What do I mean? Yeah, Notting Hill, like near Portobello Road. And that is the whole deal, and it's always been that deal. It's like it is West African, and it's all of that like that Caribbean influence, but it's not black people doing their thing and white people going, respectfully, I enjoyed it. La 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 la. Please don't piss in the garden. Even though there is that going on, it's a melting pot. It's meant to be that like. So for everyone to be on Twitter, because that's what she was doing. She was doing an ode to the Notting Hill Carnival. Like it was the weekend of the carnival, and this is what I'd have been wearing. Yeah. And they were like, I think it's disgusting. Oh. Did you see, this was a few years ago, a kid in America had got braids in, and a black girl was like trying to pull them out and like going, you don't get to do this. You're like, I get that there's a lot of there's a lot of ill feeling and hurt, and because of all of the history of black culture, suppression, civil rights, everything. But when you're trying to pull a kid's fucking braids out, do you think we might go in a bit too far the other way? When we're whinging about Adele, like, I loved it when everyone just came to like, what are you on about? She looks great. It's part of it.
Yeah, I think they're very complicated issues, aren't they? And I just like, I'm not getting involved. I'll talk about it, but I'm not really getting involved. Crack on.
Yeah, but
if you want to be upset by it, if you want to think it's sound, I'm just going to be over here. I'm going to do me. You do you.
We here at Have a Word are very respectful of cultural appropriation. Could you do Sean Paul for us?
Sean Paul, come and get it. Come and get it.
Go. And I stuck in my man like glue.
Sean Paul.
Did you hear?
Just give me the line.
Oh, that's the one. Just give me the line.
See, I can't do that with Jamiroquai. James Blunt.
It's not the same.
What?
They're not the same. I know they begin with J.
They look similar though.
No, they don't. What are you doing?
Sean Paul and James Blunt.
Do James Blunt. Could you imagine? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Ashana Pala. Being a nonce. Lads, this is from Anthony Walker. Do you mean like Adam is like a jukebox, as he's a bit of a unit often found in the corner of a pub? Unnecessary. Don't be like that. I love to see him attempt something. It's all right, baby. You're all right. You're a comedian. I know.
I've lost 3 stone, you cheeky fucking cunt.
Anthony Walker did not appreciate that. I should have like glanced over that before I read it because he's had a difficult time. I'd love to see him attempt something by Prince. Prince. You don't have to be beautiful. Oh, Adam. The eyes are a bit weird. Why does he do the Undertaker eyes? To be my girl. Don't have to be cool.
I just want your extra time and your
digga. God, you got into that. Raspberry Beret. It's a fucking good song. Raspberry Beret. She walked in through the outdoor. That's a fucking great line, by the way.
Why? I don't get it.
Just it sums up a girl that's like young and a bit sexy and just doesn't play by the rules. And when you're a lad and you're 15, you're like, oh my God, she's walked in through the outdoor. Like, I don't give a fuck. I walk through any door. And you're like, oh, on a banger. Like, it's just a great moment, innit? Prince,
I feel like you're being like an English teacher there. I reckon he needed that extra syllable. And you're being like, the curtains were red, which means she was angry and lustful and didn't know what to do with her life.
Mate.
And what the writer meant was the curtains are fucking red, mate.
No, Prince knew what he was doing with that line. It's such a subtle, lovely line.
Oh, it's the fucking art thing all over
No,
again,
it's not. Like, no one. If you listen to Raspberry Beret, he's literally telling the story of a girl. What did she? She wore a Raspberry Beret, the type you get in a secondhand store. And if it was warm, she didn't wear much more. So she's just fucking fit, man.
Yeah.
She's 16. She doesn't give a shit, and she
I'm just fucking it down, lads. I like it. I like
he's not literally gone, no, there's no meaning in it, but she did walk in through the outdoor. And I tell you something about me, Prince, you know, I am a stickler for a one-way system.
She was ahead of her time. COVID.
That was very good, Prince. Now, what else have we got? One more jukebox. Christian Baines. After watching Monday's show and Adam's amazing vocal talents, Christian, don't fucking big him up, man. He has to sing for me something either by Enya or Bjork.
I don't know Enya, but Bjork.
What is Enya?
What's Bjork's big song?
So
Quiet.
Oh,
do,
yeah.
do. It's also
I can do this one.
This is great because this called... Stop doing the Undertaker eyes. You
can't help it.
No, you
It's
can't. They're going back. You're like, oh, dum, dum. You already look like Paul Bearer. Dum.
It's also hostilities.
Shh.
Why are you doing Yoda? Go on, do it.
And so peaceful. Peaceful until da-da-da-da, you blow a fuse. Da-da.
It's Elmo. It's a cross between Gollum and Elmo.
And Joe Pasquale.
Say Pasquale again.
Joe Pasquale.
Joe Pasquale.
He's a linguist.
Gobshite.
He's also quiet. Precious. So still, my precious. And then all of a sudden someone takes it from us. Dirty little hobbitses.
If you got AIDS, you could be Gollum.
Oh, that is offensive. And I'm banging the table now, and I always get on you for doing it. I'm like,
Upset me, nasty bitch.
You'd have to be seriously ill.
If I tell you what, I really think if I'm dying of cancer or AIDS, which would be really, I think Laura would be pissed off about that.
What?
If I got AIDS, she'd be like, "What you been up to?"
What if you got it from her and she's the one being fucking around? Don't fucking put the blame on yourself.
I love you, babe. I love you so much, and I don't agree with all the jokes that are on this. It's a bad podcast in many ways. But if I'm telling you right now. I know when people. I know we've lost celebrities recently, and it's heartbreaking. But I'm still gonna do. I'm gonna do some online content. Seen Dan Nightingale's fucking cancer Patreon. It's really good. If you like Gollum impressions that are weirdly too close to home, like
My precious. Dirty little hobbitses.
I think even for our listeners, we might have gone one step too far.
that was too far. Matt, what was Dan's last words?
Dirty little hobbitses.
He was doing shtick right till the end.
I can't tell you how much I fucking love this show and this studio and the fucking things we just say and then we just let them go out into the world for public consumption.
To stay on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Dirty little hobbitses.
Right. An interval.
Yeah,
To lunch.
Let's have a little advert break here. We'll be back in 30-odd seconds for you lot with this week's guest,
This is the
the
return.
brilliant YouTuber, magnificent He's a dead sound lad. His name is Stephen Lawson. He's more commonly known as Stephen Tries on YouTube, and it's going to be a pleasure to have him in. We'll see you very soon.
Peace.
What's happening, guys? Today's sponsor is beer52.com. They are the UK's #1 craft beer discovery club.
And they've teamed up with us to give our listeners a free case of beer.
That means you get 8 free beers, an award-winning beer magazine, and a tasty snack as your first free order.
And it's free. You pay nothing. You just pay the £5.95 postage and packaging.
You'll then be a member of their craft beer discovery club, and they send you a different theme of beers every month. Past themes have been the beers of Belgium, the beers of Korea, California, all over the world. Every month, a new theme, and they're always a belter.
You'll find craft beers that you'll never find on your own. And also, you can pause your membership at any time.
So do us a favour, support the podcast, support our sponsors, go to beer52.com/word. That's BEER52.com/WORD.
Every time you sign up, we get a little bit of money, so you get your free beers. There's a little bit of money to support the podcast. It's win-win. I'm a member. I love it.
Let's get back to the podcast. We'll go and get some beers. Pause it here. Go and get some beers.
B52.
We're back.
That's my button to press.
Hello?
You little fucking rat.
We did a lot of these during lockdown when I had my own desk and that, and now I feel a bit left out because you've got your sound desk with all your...
Mama like this.
Honestly, I'm not OCD, but when you touch my buttons like that, it really presses my buttons. No, don't.
Upset me, nasty bitch.
Silly person. We've got a guest.
We have got a guest,
Hey.
Stephen. Do we call you Stephen Lawson because that's your name, or do you hide that?
I don't hide it because my mate thought it'd be funny to just post that. So tries is good.
Just tries. Sweet.
There's no real difference between the two. Just one has a reputation for being a nonce, the other doesn't.
He's going to fit in so well. He's already using our catchphrase.
Oh, thanks for coming in, lad. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you.
So, we met a few years ago when you were you at Salford Uni doing the comedy course?
Yeah, it was.
And then I think I hosted a gig at the Frog and Bucket, and maybe a couple more that you were on.
Yeah, it was a charity night. That one was it?
I have maybe. Yes, it was. It
I
was.
think so.
Yeah, that wasn't the best gig in the world, was it? It was weird. No. But
Salford Uni's comedy course.
Yeah,
I remember hearing about that and sort of taking the piss, and my God, that has knocked out some talent over the years, hasn't it? That's sort of come good, that. I mean, it's probably knocked out some dog shit.
Yeah,
but there's some decent acts come through there.
Jamali, he's probably the best.
Jamali Maddox?
Yeah.
Salford?
Yeah, Jamali started stand-up at Salford Uni, yeah.
Kiri Pritchard McLean?
Did she do that, yeah?
I don't know if she did the course, but she taught on it a bit at least.
Oh, well, she did the media performance course sort of...
Yeah, and then became it.
Right.
Yeah. Probably, Alex Boardman taught a lot of it. Did Alex teach you?
Yeah, he was class.
Yeah, he's boss Alex,
There's some teachers that you just couldn't really bond with, and then Alex was like, oh.
Which teachers were they? By name.
Just one who liked clowning a lot and was very persistent with trying to get us to do clowning.
And not stand-up.
Yeah. It is the future of British comedy, though.
Clowning. I think it's mime, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, mime. Yeah. Is that where you're going now?
I think, like when, baby names make a comeback, there's loads of kids called Albert again now. I reckon mime's doing that.
Yeah, full circle.
I fucking love it. If we set each other a challenge, if I've got to do a bit of clowning and you've got to do a bit of mime, just to see the audience at hot water go, what the fuck are you doing? Actually, I'm trying to really develop as an artist.
What is clowning?
Oh, this teacher, he was so serious about it. And he's like,
it wasn't Philip Gollier, was it?
No, he said he had a doctorate in clowning.
Guys, that's enough laughter. We're going to learn clowning fucking seriously. Now you put that fucking fresh cream on that pie and you hit them in the face. You do it properly. What a ridiculous statement. So serious about clowning.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I think somebody in our class tried to get a laugh once. And he was like, don't try to get a laugh. And they're like, it's a comedy course though. And he was like, it's not what this is about. So it was so bizarre. And
there's a lot of shows at the Edinburgh Festival that this guy would fucking love, mate.
Oh, mate. It's basically, it's a sort of hipster slapstick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, it's physicalized comedy, clowning. That's what it's really meant to be. It's actually not meant to be spoken at all, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of like pretentiousness with how he did it though, and none of us could really get into it. I remember the first lesson we had with him is the first week of that course, and I think he asked Jamali to take his shoes off. Not just Jamali. He wasn't racist. So
He's probably Muslim. I'll just cover He looks a bit Muslim.
I'll make him feel like he's at the mosque. Shoes off, lad. Come on in.
What about my shoes, sir? Not you, mate. Not you, Stephen.
he's getting us to go on all fours and be a cat. We were just, oh no. So I called my dad in tears halfway through that lesson going, I can't do this anymore. That was the first
What
week.
did your dad say?
No, Stephen, you'll do the stand-up comedy course like I did, like your granddad did. You've come from generations and generations of people that have studied BA stand-up comedy at Salford.
Successful men. Yeah. Oh.
Stop being a pussy, be a real man. Dad, I just like a cat. Shit in the cat litter.
I just want to be a civil engineer. You'll not come back to this house with a degree in engineering. You either turn up in a clown car and a red fucking nose, or you don't come back for Christmas.
Oh, mate. Your normal size shoes will never darken our doorway again. Fucking brilliant.
Why did you pie stand up off? Why did you fuck it off? Because you were dead good, like dead young, good straight away. And then was it just because YouTube just became a thing? Or
it's just because I was lazy with it. So I had like a nice 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And slowly got to 10 minutes. And then I just basically kept doing the same material, got bored of it, didn't think to write new material. And then I was just done. And the nerves, I built it up so much in my head, each gig.
yeah.
Because I was, from the age of 6, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian.
6 is early, innit?
Parents divorced, I think. So,
You decided at 6.
yeah, I wanted to be a comedian.
Fuck me. Is that the way of things now? Like, how old are you?
8, you've missed the fucking boat. You're done. You're done. You haven't even got Avalon representation. You're 9.
9. You might as well be 52 in this game, son.
Almighty. You better be a bisexual 9-year-old.
Oh, it's going to be a naughty one, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I can just, like, I'm about to say, we're 6 minutes into this part of the show, and I feel like it's already off the rails. God knows where this is going to be in an hour.
How do you have that clarity of thought? I know it's just a thought that you have as a kid, but you were that into it at 6.
I was just an attention seeker. That's
Right,
all it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Just wanted my dad's attention, but he's gone.
Is he dead?
No.
Oh no! All right, good. I
he's
just
very
thought
much alive. Yeah.
he's gone. He lives in Norwich.
The Wirral.
He lives in the Whittle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame, innit?
Is that what it takes for a scouser? That's as good as being dead. He's in another place, over the water. I won't pay the fucking tunnel.
What was your second laugh for this?
I just imagine someone putting flowers at the fucking Kingsway tunnel entrance.
We stop putting flowers there. This is a working fucking tunnel.
This is for me dad.
Papa, if you can hear me,
I can't. I'm over here.
I'm in Birkenhead. Sorry.
Would you not never thought of going back to it? Oh, you did. You did do a video about it, didn't you? Didn't you do a Stephen Tries about? Yeah. Stephen Tries stand up.
And I did a thing for joe.co.uk, and I did a one-off because they were like, oh, you should do something about comedy. I did something for different sort of things like gaming and all that. I was gaming, not gaming, and then I did stand-up. And that gig was it's one of my favourite gigs. It was in.
You've made him laugh to the point of not being able to carry on listening to you with a game end joke. Welcome to the level of this podcast.
YouTube content, really. There's a variation in it.
Yeah.
Stephen Tries bumming.
But like,
It's going to get demonetized, that, isn't it?
do you realise we So the way we structure this podcast, the first hour is just me and Dan. The second hour we bring the guest in. And in the first part of the show, we talked about how last night we did a gig together.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched him and had to follow him. It was very difficult because, you know, I was eulogizing about the fact he's one of the sharpest minds in British comedy. And when he's on form, nigh on impossible to follow.
Yeah.
And people who don't watch our stand-up must listen to us and go, oh, Dan's really got an eye for comedy. And then he goes, I meant gay men, not gaming. And you're gone for 3 minutes.
But it is funny. Can I just? I'm not. You know how to do your content, but I'd be up for watching that. That would get me.
I think it would. And if they do demonetize it, you got to go, oh, YouTube.
Oh, homophobic.
We haven't yet monetized. Like, we've got the option to monetize our YouTube channel. It's very new.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing. But like they've said, oh, you can monetize now. Do you reckon we should do it? Because we're quite.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose. Worst case scenario is they don't monetize it and then
and then
it goes out.
But they don't show it to anyone then, really, do they? People have to sort of find it themselves. Is that right?
I don't know.
Help us, Steve.
I've got no idea. I feel like if it does get demonetized, it doesn't go out as well, like you say. It sort of just goes in the nether and
what basically that's just YouTube being fucking fannies, is it?
Yeah, it was since like they've had various controversies where people have said the N-word. They are controversies, to be fair, but they're not like the New York, whatever paper that is. I should know this.
The New York Gazette. The New York Chronicle.
The New York Herald.
That's right.
No, it's the New York Times, isn't it?
I think there is a New York Herald.
The New York Post.
The Boston Herald.
And the New York Post.
The Gotham Post? What's the Gotham?
Who's got that joke? Like, the New York Post is known as like a shit newspaper. Alexander Hamilton invented the New York Post, just so you know.
Have you seen the musical Hamilton? Because Adam has.
And I really like it. And they
I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And
So have I.
it's really good. But he invented the New York Post. But I think it's John Mulaney's got a joke where he says the New York Post is like, reading the New York Post is like someone else has heard the news and they're trying to give you the gist.
Kind of what I like. It's like the Metro, innit? It's basically like the Metro is news for people with ADHD. Like, oh, you're in the 100th word of this story. Finish it up. 9/11, dead bad planes, bang, 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 drop, drop, drop.
That's the no context have a word there. What are you doing?
Just one sec. Will you just dip your mic a little bit?
Yeah.
Just because the line's blocked by the mic a little bit.
Is that okay?
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's
good.
Sweet.
But yeah, a lot of people got told off because YouTube were just putting adverts on like everything, beheadings. So Ray Doc's on one of those. So it was
This end's just chopped off. Now we're from Manscaped.com.
Fucking radar.
Have you nicked your head recently?
L'Oreal after a bit. Oh, Jesus. So, because YouTube, there's so much money. They are like, yeah. There's so much more money. Like, there's so much more switched on to like, they're getting more like TV, sadly enough, innit? The Wild West is that feeling of like, we'll just stick videos up.
Yeah.
I love the thought that like monetizing those videos is the problem and not that they're still up. Like, we're not taking the video down, but I'm not sponsoring. No problem with people who want to watch someone fuck a body with no head on it.
But it's a beheading, yeah, but they said it wasn't for kids. Hey, YouTube, how much more could we do?
Oh, Jesus.
Have you had something taken down?
No, I don't think so. Oh, what I've had is it's always like music. If I've used music in a video, then it'll get claimed and you lose all your money from that. Future earnings. But also if you use like certain ones, like I used the Kanye West song and then it got blocked in all these different countries. So that was only like last year that they started doing that. So
someone told us that even if you sing on a YouTube video, they can pull money, which is a bit of a worry. That's because Adam's become a human jukebox recently. The one good thing is it's so badly sung that I don't think YouTube algorithms are going to pick up on
that, it. But so I only did this last week, right? And I can prove it to you now, no problem at all. on this podcast, I'm partial to doing an impression.
Yeah.
And one thing I held back for a while is that I can do musical impressions, like singing impressions. So last week we did some, and like he was like, "Oh,
Just said we might get demonetized," and Adam's like, "Yeah, no."
Carl tells me all the time that they're good, and we've had loads of emails going, "No, actually, I really enjoyed Adam's singing impressions."
3.
You know what I mean? Like
Demonetized. Future earnings, and you're like, yeah. But I've got a gift.
Can do Elton John, which we did last week, didn't I? The Dido, like when he covered Dido for Eminem. Really good at that.
Oh, that's that Stan. That
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Dude's got caught up one room.
That is good, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see his one recently where he was doing it for like comic relief or something? He did "I'm Still Standing," but he missed like every other syllable.
Yeah,
out.
see, that was a worse impression of Elton John than the one I did. And that was actually Elton John.
Every other syllable.
The way he was singing, he was like, "Oh, I can't do it. Not after that."
He was like, he was in his garden on a piano and he was just going.
That is good. You can't deny it.
That's worth $3,000, isn't it? That's worth. Honestly, I would rather this video became a beheading than listen to any more. As he sat down, you know the fat cunt sat down as well. Like, I'm still standing, metaphorically.
You can't stand up at a piano.
What are you on about?
No one stands up to play the piano.
What are we talking about? Have you never seen Have you never seen me before? Have you never seen anyone stand up at a piano?
Only Paul Rudd in Friends when he pretends to play it. Yeah. When he's like, I can play the piano, and Phoebe's like, well, do it. And he's like, well, there's not a piano. And she's like, well, it wouldn't stop its true penis. And he's just like,
should we do podcasting stood up? Do you think it adds to the energy?
hello and welcome to the Have a Word podcast with me. I feel like we're on T4. Oh, Jesus. Have you ever had a YouTube controversy? Have you ever had...
This week, it's...
Well, we knew about that one, and we want to talk about that, yeah? So go on, sorry.
But before that, my other one was... it was... Weirdly enough, I've got through a lot of things where I've made risky jokes, and it's been fine. I did a sketch about trying to sell the Madeleine McCandle. So it was a candle with Madeleine McCandle. So,
mate, I love it out. Like, even though you're not doing stand-up anymore, that's exactly how all comics think. They're like, oh, I've had a thought. That works as wordplay. Except most of us are such pussies. We're like, yeah, I can't say that at the Frog and Bucket in Manchester. And you're like, yeah, get the camera rolling.
oh, yeah.
Tell a story.
So the worst part of that was, so the reaction was fine to it, you know, built my audience. But then the worst part was my printer wasn't working. So my mates were at work and they were having to use the printer to print off Madeleine McCann's face with no context and then stick it on a Yankee Candle. So that was fine. So weirdly enough, yeah, I got through that. No issue. But I always had this running joke for like 2 years or so where my mate made a video where he'd get people on Fiverr to do certain things. And one of them was he paid this dog to carry around the sign. Stephen tries as a ginger nonce. It was a really cute dog. It was quite funny. I was watching it. I was like, oh, don't let this be my legacy. And then he had such a big following that they just kept commenting on all my videos. It became a running joke. I sort of thought, right, if they're going to make the joke, I'll do it before them. So I kept doing it. And then realised they're just going to keep repeating what I say now because they're not really thinking, oh, it's dead. They just enjoyed it and ran with it. So I just sort of had this, you know, ginger nonce thing. People would shout it in the street. I just wave thumbs up.
Just own it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like an old woman at the bus stop and seeing go, you ginger nonce, and then the nonce goes, nice one, lads, cheers. That's me, ginger noncey stay.
Can we get a picture?
Things have changed. I mean, before they just used to work on the BBC, but now they're everywhere. I'm proud of it.
Gingers, that is. And so I had this brand deal, which is a rare treat for me, and it was with TikTok, and they put it on like the main page of YouTube, and all the comments like, hey, the ginger nonce is on it, and then
You can't really have a rep as a nonce and then end up on TikTok, can you? Like,
No. So, because it's based in China, the people that own TikTok were
pedophilia. Yeah,
they were just translating. Really honed it there.
I would love to be a fly on the wall at TikTok HQ.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
they were like, "What is a nonce?"
So that they translated it word for word and just went,
I got away with it.
"Yeah, he's Then they called the company that got me involved in the ad and go, "Why have you got a paedophile on board here?" So they went, "Right, can you just explain to them that you're not a paedophile?" I was like, "What? I'm not in jail, am I? I'm not a paedophile."
explain to them that you're not a paedophile. How can you do that in more than one sentence?
Yeah.
I'm not a paedophile, you know. No, but what do you mean by that?
Yeah. Do you imagine me having to fly to China for a face-to-face? Hello, Mr. Trice. Are you a pedo? No.
So what did you do? Did you have to bring them or something?
So I was just fuming, and then they dropped me from it, and I was gutted because I was like, "I'm not a paedophile." And the company that obviously got me on board then had to just pay me, and they lost whatever fee they got for that.
You got paid off for not being a pedo.
Yeah,
What the fuck has the internet done to the world?
I don't know. It's a strange place.
I've been called a nonce so many times on this podcast. That honestly, I've been called. And Adam, we were talking about. I've got a kid, and we were talking about just being at home. And like Adam was like, I can't believe you're naked in front of your daughter sometimes. She's like 3.5. And you're like, yeah, because if you're in charge and you're having a shower and she's in the house, you can't shut a door because they're mental. They're dangerous. What did Jason Manford call all kids under the age of 4 are like suicidal midgets? And for the awkwardness of like being semi-naked or naked in front of your kid, you can't just be like, all right, you go there, I'm going there. And I was telling Adam that and he was like, I feel weird about this. It's like, what do you mean? I was like, he was like, I think it's because I've called you a nonce so many times on this podcast that now talking about you being naked in front of your daughter feels fucking weird. The joke weirdly does get in your head, doesn't it? Bit noncey.
Yeah, because like, I just don't think it's a bad rule of thumb to never have your dick out when a kid's in the room.
But to the point where we mentioned this about 3 weeks ago, and Adam was like, yeah, but you show your daughter your dick. I'm like, no, it's different. Sometimes I'm naked. Sometimes she's in the vicinity. I'm not like, enter, morning, stop crying.
Fucking hell. That out of context page is going to be done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, do you know, going back to the Maddie thing, do you know I was a manager in hot water?
Yeah.
Do you know me do deep cleans?
Yeah.
To finish
Found
it?
her.
Well, yeah. So I'd print 8 pictures of Madeleine McCann and hide around the bar. And if you didn't do your job, you wouldn't find them all. Like, if you cleaned everywhere, you would find all the Maddies. So you couldn't go unless you found the Maddies.
I mean, that is... Why have you never told me that before? I've got so much more respect for you now than I had 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I found 7 Maddies. Well, you can't fucking go on them, can you? There's 8.
God.
She's under the fridge or something.
God.
Dragon Ball McCann. You gotta get them all.
Yeah.
Good God.
What sorts of places would you put them in? Like, behind the fridges and that?
Yeah, like places where you should be deep cleaning. Places where you wouldn't think to clean on a regular.
Yeah.
I found 8 Maddies I can get off.
Portuguese apartment.
That's what the parents did about the staff there. We've made complaints, but now we're going to hide our daughter, see if you find her. But she is dead, though. So,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag gone too soon.
So you were kicked off your TikTok campaign.
Yeah.
The Maddie McCann thing wasn't.
That was fine.
And then this week you've had, because it's been all over my Twitter feed, and we're not really involved in the YouTube game, but it's been news.
Yeah, it was. So what happened? It was 2 years ago now. Pretty much. Yeah, 2 years ago, and we're doing this thing called the Wembley Cup, which is where 4 YouTube teams played each other in this tournament at Wembley, and usually with those YouTube games, it's just like these YouTubers who, you know, would be last picked at PE, sort of having a kick about, and it's fun. But this year or that year, they'd had semi-pros involved, and one of the teams is now like a professional team, so they were moving that way. So it was like our team and then a bunch of people that can actually play football.
Yeah.
And so there was one team in particular that were called the F2 Freestylers. There's like 2 guys that do step overs and hit the crossbar. really successful. One of them hasn't let it get to the head, and so when I filmed with them prior to this Wembley Cup, we were just doing Mr. and Mrs. And one of them was going, "You can't call us Mr. and Mrs. because we're both guys. We're not going to be called Mrs." And so straight from that, he was just not having any of it. Wasn't playing along.
Dry as fuck.
Exactly. So I was trying to make jokes, and one of the questions we got was, what was my mate's favourite sex position? So I thought I'd make one up. So I went with the hungry professor. I meant the nutty professor, but just messed that up. I was trying to explain that and what that was.
And also, you don't want Eddie Murphy to demonetise you either.
What the fuck? What physicalization is the hungry professor?
We're still
Put
not
a
sure.
lab coat on. Get the pipette.
So I was trying to explain that, and then it was just so awkward. Like, my mate was laughing, the people behind the camera were laughing. Those two was just sat there, stone-faced. And it was like I was dying at a gig. It was the worst feeling. And obviously it could just be edited out, but they just weren't having any of it. And they were like, "Oh, we've got these massive deals with Adidas. We can't be seen laughing at this." And they're just arseholes to me. So then before we played at the Wembley Cup, I thought it'd be funny to make a diss track, just like a jokey one about them, and add a bit of spice to the game because we were playing each other.
What genre of music did you go with for your diss track? Because
I went with
traditionally
grime.
a hip hop thing, but
Belarusian folk.
Yeah.
what?
I just went with some hot jazz, And,
A jazz diss track would be or a blues club. Your man is a slag.
You got no sense of humor. And I'm a ginger nonce. I'll see you at Wembley.
So yeah, I did that, and then I put it out the night before of the game, and then basically on the pitch, they'd then seen it. The guy that just hated me, I got on the ball for the first time, and he just floored me straight away. It was a foul, but wasn't given. I'm not over it. And then game finished, they won, fantastic. And one of the guys on their team comes over to me, starts mouthing off, and I thought he was going to come over and laugh at me, because I've made this joke about how we're going to beat you at Wembley and other sick bars like that. And and he came over and was just really aggressive, just like trying to start on me. Just a stand full of kids, just waving there. Did you know?
Mum and child. Fam!
Kids wearing ginger nonce t-shirts.
Leave that nonce alone.
I've got shares in TikTok. Jesus.
So I didn't have a clue what to do, because I'm not going to fight him, because I get battered. And also there's a stand of kids. So I was just walking away from him as he's still going off with himself. And then I basically had my mate Lawrence there. He's a nice guy. He started talking to him. He was kicking off at him. And there's a guy that who was on our team called Brian, or the True Geordie. He's like 6'3", just massive.
An absolute fucking unit of a man.
Yeah. He, when people from Newcastle are that big, you're like, your heritage, someone got banged by a Viking.
Nordic, innit? It's a Nordic thing, yeah.
So I just ran to him pretty much. I was like, this guy's just threatening to batter me and Lawrence. And Lawrence is pretty much like the man he loves. Not literally, but
Yeah, Lawrence does a lot of the True Geordie podcast stuff with him, doesn't he? Yeah. He's a Liverpool fan, isn't he?
He is,
right?
yeah.
I've seen some of the stuff, yeah.
So that was that. It all calmed down until the after party. Just in the bar in Wembley. And then this guy comes over from the F2, and he's brought his mate with him. And they're just trying to settle all these scores, even though they've won the match and won the tournament. Walking around with the trophy, getting pictures in front of all the other teams. Just proper dickhead. And he comes up to me, and I was just minding my own business. And he's then going, yeah, my mate here. And I don't know if his mate is actually a comedian. He's called Man Like Hacks. And
I see. What did I see him do? I seen him do like a rap battle for Foot Asylum with an actual rapper.
Maybe,
like one of the Don't Flop lads. I'm sure he did like an advert with one of them.
He may, yeah. He's an Instagram comedian.
Yeah.
So comedian's loose there. And then he calls himself a stand-up comedian. I was like, I've never
Just
heard
because
of
you
you.
stood up trying to be funny doesn't mean you're doing stand-up comedy, does it?
Yeah. And then, so he comes over and he's like, oh, he's wittier than you. So, and then this guy is supposed to be witty then, and instead he's just mouthing off. My dad gets up because he's just sees what's going on, and it's just the most painful,
Your
petty
dad's
thing.
there.
Yeah, my family are with me because it's a fucking charity football game.
For the love of God.
It's just so embarrassing.
Mate, YouTubers should be like the mafia. Or you're like there's a rule with like no kids and family.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm here with my mum and dad. And they're like, Stephen's playing at Wembley. Mate!
So they brought the camera crew around basically to either get me to, get me mugged off and then just laugh at it, or if I react badly, they've got that as well. So I just didn't really give them anything. He was going, oh, he's irrelevant, all this. I'd batter you in a charity he didn't say charity boxing match, so take note of that, will you guys? And then his best comeback to me was, my mate's getting a Lamborghini. Okay.
My mate is getting a Lamborghini. I'm not. I'm in a 2002 Ford Fiesta, but I know someone who is getting a Lamborghini. So
I might be in the passenger seat of a Lamborghini soon. You fucking think I'm mad?
I mean, it's a lease, but you know.
Can you imagine if the beefs on the comedy circuit, and you'd know this if you'd stuck around? It's a bit bitchy, right?
Oh yeah.
But everything's done behind each other's back. So no one would turn up. Imagine turning
Because we
up.
sound like that.
Yeah.
Imagine turning up with a fucking camera crew to the green room of hot water to get in fucking someone's face and being like, what were you saying on WhatsApp? What we do is we turn up and there's someone there who you hate. And we're like, oh my God, you! I love you. I haven't seen you for ages. Oh, you don't know. You don't know. She's fucking shite.
Start a podcast, get a patron, and bitch about them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So it got a bit nasty.
Yeah, so pretty much then people started filming it, everyone else did, because they've never posted their footage because it's embarrassing for them. So they come over filming, and pretty much I know that like the true Geordie knows of what's going on, and he's gonna come at some point. So I was just biding my time, keep just hearing these shit comebacks, and then Moses in the Red Sea, the crowd just parts as he comes through. Fortunately, I have my head down when he comes in, so he moves me out the way because I don't see him coming. I'm like, he just pulls me out the way.
His hand envelops most of your torso.
That's the one little clip I seen.
Yeah.
When what's his name? The true Geordie. What's his name?
Brian.
So when he comes in, I just seen him come in. It's like a battering ram. He just turns up and he just out the way, and he's like, "You need to fuck off, or you need to calm down, or something."
Yeah.
It's really fucking great.
Because he's all mouthy, this hacks guy, and then Brian comes in and he just goes,
He's less mouthy.
yeah, he just starts moving away.
Because Thor the Merciless just fucking waded in like, yeah, but it's the way he pushes your lot aside as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not like, hey guys, I'm on your side, now you lot. It's like,
Oh, I know.
get the fuck out of the road. What the fuck are you doing here, lads? This is fucking beef. Right. It's like, it's almost like he's almost going to scoop you up in his arms like, yeah, right, you get under my fucking tit. You leave these under my wing. It's so like dad's coming to sort it out at the playground, isn't it? He's so big.
So he took me out, and then it all kicked off after that, but nobody's recorded that.
Oh man.
Just handbags, and they got kicked out of Wembley for that, and it's just taken 2 years, because after that I didn't really want to think of it, because I thought it was just a horrible day. I was supposed to enjoy it with my family and my friends, and then it's just been a shit afternoon. And then some guy went to me, "Oh, I've got the footage. Should I post it or not?" I was like, "Go on."
Oh, good on you.
So he posted it, and then it's been seen now, and everyone's sort of gone after them.
Yeah.
For being knobheads.
And what's their reaction been?
Got to be
just
quite
keep quiet.
embarrassed there, haven't they? Because they went home early that day.
Yeah.
The birds at home, like, you're back early, love. What happened? I got kicked out of Wembley because I couldn't handle a diss track.
It's pretty much that, and the thing is, like, they do stuff where they've done anti-bullying messages and all that, and I think if you're gonna go on with yourself like that, practice what you preach.
Yeah, but like I see so many people on like Twitter and that, being horrible cunt trolls. Like when people are being dead nasty, like, I'm not talking like a beef, I'm talking like beneath people they don't know is comment, "This is shit, you're not funny, you're a fat ugly cunt." And then they're always the ones like with mental health posts, like we need to be kinder to each other. It's like, are you having a fucking laugh?
4 days before.
Yeah.
Guys. But do you think it can't kick off, can it? You're not going to... Unless you see like a Lamborghini roll up and you're like, shit's
Fucking
about
hell,
to
yeah.
go down.
It's not. Nothing's going to happen as long as Brian's around. As soon as he goes, I'm fucked.
Just had to have a massive Geordie. Just like...
That's all I need.
You know, you mentioned before, like, I can't remember exactly what you said, but like you mentioned charity boxing match. You know, I've just been thinking, right, there's never a charity something else match, is there? Do you know what I mean? To settle a beef.
Yeah.
Like at what point?
What do you mean?
Well, you know, like some, like when there's bad blood, right?
What do you mean, though?
People are like,
charity
right,
lacrosse.
Get the checkers board, come on.
Yeah, but like either one way or the other, you can have like charity Monopoly, or you go full and do charity MMA. That'd be fucking brilliant.
I thought you were going the other way, like, right, you cunt. I'm sick of what you said at the Wembley Cup. We're having a charity Hungry Hippos game. Wank it. And then True Geordie just comes in, fucking twats all the balls everywhere. Yeah, calm down. I'm a Cluedo man anyway. Charity MMA.
Yeah. Like, because MMA is sort of fast catching up and gonna surpass boxing at some point. Like, for quite a new sport, it's done very fucking well, hasn't it? And I feel like just on like a UFC undercard, if they just had like, you know...
What, you and Sophie Hagen doing ground and pound? That's gonna go down well, isn't it?
But it'd be fucking sick.
I would watch it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
As Stephen turns up in a full ginger nonce outfit, like, it's time! The ginger nonce. And then someone doing keepy uppies in the corner, like, Shy FX. Oh, fuck.
Charity sumo wrestling.
You've lost so much weight, though, babes. So
Yeah, but I
just
could wear
don't
a
think it's
fat suit. Like a weighted one.
I could just take my top off. Fucking hell. I want a beef, though. Can we just write that down? I want a beef. Let's pick someone to have a beef with. It was really good fun watching that.
Joe Rogan, go for him.
No,
he's got his
too
MMA
big.
stuff, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
he's basically, that's like starting on True Geordie.
Yeah. We need like a shit comedian podcast. Yeah.
Sure, do you want to say who that is? That would be bold, wouldn't it?
I'm dancing with the line.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, come on. There must be like a comedy cunt who's got a podcast.
I don't know.
Ed Gamble and James Acaster. Let's go after them.
Yeah.
They've got off menu. Let's have a beef with them.
Yeah. 650,000 downloads a week. Let's take them cunts down.
Yeah.
That'll
do well.
Because like people will like find ours and be like fucking well better. Because you know both of them. I swear to God, something fucking wrong with them, mate. They're fucking round the fucking pipe.
You're going for it.
I know nothing about either of them really. I've met them both twice.
Starting on Acaster. Good, because it doesn't look like his career's going anywhere. Fuck you Kettering nonce. Really nice guy.
Please edit that.
You fucking Weetabix munching la. Weetabix, the Weetabix factory's in Kettering. That's why I did that. So it's actually pretty...
That's good knowledge. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
if anyone
Factual
from
banter.
Kettering, because obviously we will tag James Acaster in the description of this episode.
Oh, yeah,
now.
he'll love that.
So if anyone from Kettering finds this by accident, if you know someone at the Weetabix factory, we are looking for new sponsors at the minute. And
Good sponsor.
I'd love to be sponsored by Weetabix. Yeah. Fuck TikTok.
Yeah.
Going old school. Being sponsored by sugar. Have a Word is sponsored by white bread. It's like a treat. Biscuits. Let's have an interval. Let's have a sponsor.
Is it white bread?
It's generic biscuits.
shout out to Trans Alloy Wheels, one of our sponsors for this week's podcast. If you need anything doing to your car, bodywork, alloy wheel refurbishment, anything like that, they're based in Leeds and they can do anything for you if you're based in the Yorkshire area.
These guys are a well-trusted, family-run business. If you need anything on your car, sorting out the bodywork, the wheels, jazzing up, fixing, these are the guys to see. Trans Alloy Wheels Limited.
They're dead good lads. Please go and see them. They've been a big supporter of the podcast from day one. We love them. They do amazing work. We've had so many good reviews from our listeners who've gone and seen Charlie. Go and get your car sorted out and tell them we sent you.
as Adam said, there's a massive list of things these guys do. And the best news is, as Have a Word listeners and watchers, you get 25% off everything.
Make sure you let them know we sent you. You'll get a discount. They know we're sending them customers. Everyone's a winner. Now back to the podcast. What have you got?
What are we going? We're going playful or dirty?
Stupid. You've got dirty. We haven't done that really for a while as well.
Would you rather never be able to come again or never be able to laugh again? Thank you for that, Dan Johnson.
Oh, you know what? I'd go with never be able to come again.
Really?
Yeah.
But you've still, like, I know I'm adding to the would you rather, if you pick that, you still need to come, you just can't.
No. That's how you end up clowning, innit? You go to the priesthood and then end up in a circus.
Yeah, but you can't just, like, if you don't need to come,
Sad
then you
clown,
wouldn't miss
just
it.
a tear of jizz.
Do you know what I mean? If you don't feel a need to ejaculate, you wouldn't miss ejaculating.
Yeah.
You only ejaculate because you feel like you want to. If you remove that, then
I don't think you'd be able, if you were generating the jizz and you were like backing it up, I think your laugh would be weird.
Yeah.
It would be intense. What if you could only laugh and you couldn't come again? What if every time you were, but you instead of coming, you laughed? Like,
do you not do that anyway?
Have you ever laughed when you're in? No. Come on.
As I finish, every now and then,
That's sinister though, isn't it?
like when I'm drunk. This is the bullshit bell. When Dan thinks I'm lying, he gets ready to press this. I'm actually not.
You're actually not. Swear to God.
When I'm drunk, sometimes, right at the moment, it's not like a giggle. I just go,
It is, isn't it? I'm calling that one.
no, not ha-ha. Just one, yeah. Like,
Billie Jean.
And the kid's like,
just wanted to ride on the kids.
so you say you can be demonetized?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I love it how you said, I just have to choose not being able to come again because I love comedy.
That's it, yeah.
I just,
You could still have kids, couldn't you?
If you can't come,
You could just take it.
you have to adopt or buy one.
What do you mean? What do you mean? If you can,
If you can't have sex, but they could still take your sperm, or is it just no? Is there no semen?
I suppose they could, but what are they going to do? Like inject your balls and just drain it out?
Yeah.
No, mate. Can't lie to you.
Have you ever have to like
You didn't cover this at the stand-up comedy degree.
you ever have to do like a home blood test? You know, you have to like cut your finger to get
You have to prick it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how your balls work. If you prick
Yes,
your
it
balls, jizz doesn't come.
Of course it does.
Have you never nicked your balls when shaving?
No.
And then like jizz is everywhere.
you nick the bag. You don't nip the ball. If you go into the ball, you can drain out jizz.
Like Bear Grylls at this.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Where do you think it makes it on demand? It's there waiting. You've got cum in, yeah. Of course you can drain it out.
You've got cum in your boy.
Where have you got that information from?
It is
Just
made
logically.
up. No.
You've got cum in your balls. It's just waiting to come out.
No context, have a word. That's the one, because it was so clear. No one even laughed over it.
It's like a halftime talk that your team's down 3-0.
Can we just park here for a second?
Just see what he gets so fired up. It's like, you know, like devout Muslims really go hard on the Quran. Adam goes like that for like theories he just came up with 15 seconds ago.
How dare you? How dare you? Of course you can have balls. You can drain it out.
Lad,
I'm Googling it.
just type in, how do you drain a bollock?
That's going to end up at Pornhub. As we all wait for fucking Carl to
will
ruin
crack
his
on while he's
Google
having a
search. No, we can't. What are we going to do? Come back to gumballs? Sorry, Stephen.
Don't worry, I'm intrigued now.
He's trying. He's just.
Hang on. Is there sperm in your balls? Frequently asked question. Sperm is produced in the testicles. It's in there, yeah?
Of course it is.
All right.
It's there, isn't it? It's not like your dick goes, oh, by the way, he's having a wank, we're going to need some cum in a minute, get it made. It's there waiting.
I know, it's not coming from a magic realm via your balls.
It's like when you're in the chippy, they've got a few things in the counter that you like, you know what I mean? Not everything's made to order.
Imagine if do you remember those children books when you were a kid was like, and the poo factory is where a man gets the bad things out and puts them. Like, imagine if you're inside your balls as a woman in a chippy going, oh, we want some cum.
But like, have you ever had like 4 wanks in a day and the 4th one, it's just sort of like crying. Just sort of like, there's nothing left.
Cloudy lemonade.
It's like, that's like when you turn up at Greg's and they're like, oh, sorry, like the sausage rolls aren't ready, they're going to be another hour. And you're like, oh, well, I'll just have what you've got then. That's that.
Yeah. Did you ever teach biology at school? Sex education via Greg's fucking analogies. Would you rather be an extra in a really successful film, you can see your face but you don't even get a line, or a leading role in a straight-to-DVD crapfest? That's from Daniel Newman.
Ooh. I feel like the narcissist in me is going with the second one.
Yeah, me too, you know.
Look at me go.
Yeah. And no one wants to watch it. Like, will you watch my film? And like, no, Stephen, I love you, but no.
The thing is, like, no one's going to give a shit about you, the fact you're an extra in a film. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone being an extra in, like, like The Godfather, no one knows them. But Waterworld was shit, but I know Kevin Costner played the guy.
So, do you know the comedian Tommy Campbell?
No.
He was around when I worked with him, maybe when you were starting out, so about 10 years ago. And he is an extra with a couple of lines in The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh.
Or Batman Begins. I think it's Dark Knight Rises. They're is it where the Joker gives them...
You think darkness is your ally?
Yeah, he's the Bane. Yeah. Did you not know Tom Hardy's not in it? It's actually a Canadian comedian, Tommy Campbell.
Darkness is your ally.
Darkness is your ally. Eh? What's that about? See? You can be racist to Canadians because they're white in your head. Yeah! That's the rules. Fuck you, Canada. That's a joke, that. Do you like it?
No.
Said it wrong. They're on like a ferry, and it's when they're deciding which there's a ferry of there's like a ship of inmates, and they've got a detonator, and a ship of just and it's
That's just the Dark Knight, that one.
He's the Dark Knight, and he's the him, and he's like, we should do it. They're gonna do it to us.
The older guy.
There's a younger guy with a skinhead. And he's that guy. There's an old guy and a younger guy with a skinhead, and that's Tommy Campbell.
Is he one of the general public on that boat?
He's one of the general public. Yeah. And you know how I know that? Because he told me in a dressing room of Nottingham Glee. Or Nottingham Jongleurs. And I think he might have even shown me the fucking... because I was like, oh, I didn't see you. He was like, oh, did you not?
Yeah.
It's there. Like, he didn't even have to load it up. So...
I'd have that scene on DVD. I'd be passing it out after gigs. Yeah, just my 30 seconds in The Dark Knight.
Would you get
one of the best films ever, The Dark Knight? Yeah. I think. I reckon top 5. And yeah, I'd be proud of that. Fair play to him. Stop having a go.
All right.
Yeah, Dan.
Would you get compares to introduce you? You may recognise him from that 3-minute scene on the ferry. What, the old guy? Not the old guy. Oh, you think Darkness? Wrong film. Bane was good though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
We love Bane, don't we?
Yeah. The Dark Knight's a better film, but Bane... I was about to say Bane's best in the Joker. No, he isn't. I'm lying, so let's just shut up.
Yeah.
I think I'm going a bit schizophrenic today, you know.
Oh yeah, you've had a coffee, haven't you?
I've had a coffee, and you have pointed at a bottle of water there, and I was like, is that coffee? Have I gone that bad?
All right. You're doing all right. We're in a safe space here. Megan Pennington, bit of a playful one here, Stephen. Would you rather live in a cave for the rest of your life?
She's so playful. She just gets me.
Or, you all right? or live in a tree. Why have we got a fucking
Is it treehouse?
Why have got special needs kids writing in questions? Would you rather live in a cave for the rest of your life or live in a tree house for the rest of your life?
Ooh, I'd go treehouse. Because
Yeah.
I feel like they're usually in someone's back garden, so at least you can watch civilization. Whereas a cave's all the way out there, and you got a roof over your head in both, so it's I'll go treehouse.
This is my favourite thing about Would You Rathers. If you just go, what's the point of this? Stephen's like, right, let me tell you why I'm taking this very seriously.
I'd go treehouse as well.
I love it how you go in a treehouse in someone else's garden. Why it can't be your treehouse? Mom, there's a man in the fucking treehouse. Oh God, yeah, don't play in the garden, love.
I'm a ginger nonce off YouTube.
Come on. There's a ginger nonce in the treehouse.
I'd go treehouse because I can deal with pigeons, but I don't like bats.
Yeah.
Again, how long have you believed that? Have you just come up with it? Because it sounded like your school fucking motto. The Adam Rowe University.
No, like
Don't mind
pigeons are
pigeons.
annoying, aren't they? But this, like, you're gonna be all right. If you're in a treehouse, there might be a pigeon that pops in. But if you're in a cave, I'm fucking done with bats after this year, mate.
Yeah.
Bats.
Yeah,
Why?
because someone shagged a bat in China, and that's why everything went to shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bat.
Shagged a bat. That's it, scouse rumours. Fucking China. The fucking rat nonsense.
What about you, Dan? You going in the cave?
Thanks for asking, Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in.
Should we swap? Because I've gone now, you
Just have
know.
a lie down.
Cave's a bit Taliban in it.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to do your little like Osama videos in your cave and then send them out to Al Jazeera.
You haven't got the beard for the Taliban either.
I could grow one.
Yeah, but it's blonde. You would look weird.
Why can't I be a Taliban?
Because you need a dark beard.
No, you don't need a dark beard. You can
Have
have
you ever seen
you can have a
a
ginger.
jihadist terrorist with a blonde beard?
Oh, that is
You're gonna
so
stick out like a sore
offensive to Nordics.
You're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, maybe you'll be that. Like maybe it'll be a good thing.
You want to be the Eminem of the Taliban?
I just did a bit of snot.
You know what? He does look different, but he's one of the best.
Mate, honestly, in those fucking videos that he does in the cave, he spits bars, man. Death to the West.
You can't bring people back to a cave, can you? Like if you met a girl on a night out, you can't, you know.
It's going to be a red flag.
Yeah.
But treehouse is fine.
Treehouse is fine. You go, look, there's a house
Treehouse
just
could
there.
be romantic, though. Cave feels like you could be like, look, I'm living in a treehouse at the minute. So, and she'd be like, oh my God, a treehouse. She's still in. Treehouses tend to be in like a suburban setting. She'll feel safer. You can't be like, come in. No, come on. No, there's lights in here. I've got a Madeline McCandle.
Light all the Madeline McCandles, and you wouldn't say what candles they were until the light of the flame illuminated all those Madeline McCandles. I think
Women would rather be in trees than caves.
again, it's the theories that he's never thought of. Women would rather. I think there's a point when they're on that fourth step ladder up to the treehouse where they're thinking, "I'm not banging this guy." Do you not think?
Do you not think they'd be still more up for it than a cave though? Because that's I'm not saying that no one saying a treehouse is ideal for banging.
Right, so would you rather, innit?
Yeah. Like you got to remember, caves look dodgy. Not many normal people live in caves.
Sorry, any cave listeners. Fucking upset them.
If you live in a cave and you've got access to Spotify or YouTube, then fair fucking play, lad.
4G, 5G's working out.
I read a conspiracy today that the clap for the NHS was to cover up the sound.
What?
5G.
What sound does it make though?
So apparently, like the reason the government got us to go out and be like, it's because that's 8 o'clock on Thursdays. That's when they were turning the 5G on and it made a noise and the clap was to cover the sound. Makes sense though.
It's really put me off the Tories now.
Shut up, man. What conspiracy theories does, Matt? I've not heard one that doesn't make the person who's saying it sound fucking retarded.
Aliens built the pyramids.
What about Diana?
Yeah, that was aliens as well.
Do you think Diana was an accident? Thank you for
They
bringing that
fucking
up.
got to you, haven't they?
Yeah, probably.
You think it was an accident? He's fucking smiling, lad. the fucking guy who's driving the bus that she, or whatever she was in.
The bus.
You've really researched this one, haven't you? Do you think Diana was an accident? Because she was in that tunnel. Where was it? Fucking was it?
No, but
Was it Mersey Tunnel?
Have you seen the
What's for
picture?
you, Dad? Goldie, Diana, and Dad.
No, but you've seen, haven't you? There's that picture. I think it was taken by like the speed camera or something, and it's got his face, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna crash."
Yeah. They've got.
You not seen it?
And all the other cameras on the way from the hotel to the tunnel weren't working that night. And that they said that camera wasn't working, but then somebody got a speeding ticket
Yeah,
a couple of days later. And then it said the camera was working.
Amazing,
exactly.
isn't it? Amazing.
Hello, it's the Queen. Could I speak to the traffic wardens in Paris, please?
She,
The God.
do you not think she's got the power to kill one woman?
Not in a fist, but
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good fucking charity MMA, wouldn't it?
the Queen,
and lady.
a man like
Queen
Pax.
Elizabeth II.
And fucking Princess Diana, and then true Geordie. Yeah, man, let's fucking get out of the way. I think you need to calm down, Diana, and you can shut the fuck up, Geordie Al-Fayed.
Yeah, like that was defo a job. Defo.
And there's there was somebody involved who crashed into them, or the car that knocked into them and ran off. The guy that owned it, he killed himself in his own car by setting fire to it in a field. You wouldn't do that if you're going to kill yourself.
That's guilt.
Guys, there's better way to kill yourself. I mean, I'd go off a cliff.
Oh, you want to do the Superman?
I think so. I just think if I was going to kill myself, I want those few seconds of feeling, like I'm flying.
I've said this for fuck. I'm so glad you've come in today. We're going to have Stephen we're going to offer you the contract. You're going to be the third head on the podcast, because I've always said when I kill myself, right? when I kill myself, I'm going off the Empire State Building.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, that'd be the worst way to go. Wouldn't that be amazing? New York's like the most gorgeous city in the world.
Yeah.
You get a
Watch
great
Stephen
view.
work out the problem with it in 3 seconds. His is a cliff, middle of nowhere, just fucking dirt. You just ruin the entrance to someone's cave. What's the problem with his?
New York's quite busy. I think there might be a couple of people just walking
not-
by.
He couldn't give a fuck. 3 families dead because Super Row just fucking
The thing
flattened
is,
them.
though, if you're at a point in your life where if you're at a point in your life where you're killing yourself, you're not asked about ruining someone's trip to fucking the Disney shop, are you?
He's got murder in him, hasn't he? He's got murder in him. We asked
you
about
think if
what would you do if you could go back in time? He'd be like, yeah, you could just go on a killing spree, and it'd be like, no one would care. You're like, no, that's not good.
No, but
I was like, I'd like to spend time with Picasso.
do you know how
Paris.
do you know how depressed you have to be to kill yourself? It's literally, you do not care about anyone else. If you're at that point, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to ruin a cup from the M&M shop. You're just going to do it.
You can be suicidal and not be a cunt.
Yeah, but I don't think I would be. I don't think.
It's like a terrible counsellor.
Yeah, maybe me to soften up my grief counselling.
You fucking get over yourself, lad, and sit up as
Jesus
well.
Christ.
Fucking lad, do you think you own the place? Put your shoes on.
Top yourself or stop whinging about it. Anyway, thanks for ringing. Shall we just have a word? Because this has been a lot of fun and my ribs hurt a little bit.
Can we play the theme song? I know we can't all hear it, but everyone's been asking for it and they're pissed off that
We're Dan and Dan. Tell us all your problems you have with your friends. This was gonna be the whole podcast. Now it's just the final 10%.
So that was our theme song. I used to wear the headphones.
Yeah.
And the initial plan was to have our guests wear the headphones as well. And we'd all hear it, but I don't like wearing headphones.
Fair play.
So we stopped playing the theme song, and we've had a lot of emails saying, can you play the fucking theme song, please? It's the only reason we listen.
What would we like to do? Should we got one that's calling back about the DMT Paul Smith episode?
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Sure.
Yeah?
Or what's the other one?
Tory fucking rats.
Where'd you land on the political spectrum? Did you not give a
Lib
shit?
Dem.
Labour.
Labour. Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds.
All right. Do you want me to read it? Because you've got to read it, Scouse.
I know the context for the Paul Smith one as well, in case you want.
Oh,
okay.
Let's do
that one then. Do Paul Smith, and then we'll do that. We'll do both of them.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah. But by the way, everyone, if you want us to have a word with anyone, your friends, family, major political parties, the Queen, aliens,
Can we just go back to that for a sec, by the way, because you brushed over that. Aliens defo built the pyramids.
Okay, cool. Have a word pod at gmail.com. Write into me and my fucking lunatic business partner. And we'll talk absolute nonsense about it.
They couldn't build the pyramids now with the technology we have. So you explain it.
They couldn't build the pyramids with the technology we have now.
No, not possible.
Right.
They fucking could.
What are you talking about?
Look at the fucking shard.
The fucking shard, lad. They're not the same thing.
No, but like...
Yeah, one's a bit bigger though, isn't it?
Yeah, the pyramid.
Oh, God.
I'm talking like in mass, not height.
I don't think you could build the pyramids now without killing 20,000 Jews, which is what they did.
Just gives you an edge, does it?
That's done. No, it literally, the Hebrews they were basically just human slaves, weren't they? Why are we talking about this? Let's call it aliens, shall we, Stephen?
Yeah. I don't want to say the comedy course didn't teach me anything, but are the pyramids made out of sand? No.
Right. Aren't they made out of stone?
Sandstone.
They're made out of like sand that's been glued together, sort of thing.
It's sandstone, isn't it?
I've got no idea.
So you're both right. It's sand.
Sandstone.
Wet sand.
There you go.
Are we all on glue right now? Who's got the Pritt sticks out?
That wasn't a stupid question, no. See how he looked at you? Like, oh, what a fucking stupid question. But he's never got the answers.
It's
ever.
stone. It's stone.
Sandstone.
You know, sandstone's not sand though, is it?
But it's also not stone though,
I tell you what, if you want to go frolicking on a beach of sandstone, tell me how that goes.
Right.
It's not going to be fun, is it?
Yeah. And if you want to fucking throw a sandstone and try and skim it across the water, you'll look like a dickhead as well.
No, that'll work because it's still stone. It's not just going to break up instantly into sand.
You've seen how big they are in the pyramids?
Oh my God, what are we talking about?
I feel like you should each try what you've just said there.
Right, okay.
Come back next week with it. You have fun on the sandstone beach.
Are we trying to start a beef with the Egyptians? Who are you starting a beef with, fam? Listen, ancient Egypt, Pharaoh.
Were you going to say something then?
Limestone?
Limestone.
Yeah, so you throw it and it just goes into a fucking Bacardi and Coke. Think about it. No. This is from Have a word with me, missus, lads. All right, boys. Again, this is so Scouse. I love it. I'm not going to lash out names because if either of our families heard about this... Oh, I've got to read it, Scouse. All right, boys. I'm not going to lash out names because if either of our families heard about this, there'd defo be an intervention because they're proper anti-drugs. Okay, so this is not from...
Beep and beep.
This is from friendly listener. But me missus loves your podcast and watched the one with Paul Smith the other week. She messaged me like, oh my God, you need to listen to this podcast. They're talking about DMT and it sounds sick. She went on about it, no joke, for about 3 hours about how mental it sounds. I said, go ahead. Let's give it a go then. And she pure flapped it. Was like, oh my God, you know me, you know I'd never be able to take something like that. The bit that wound me up, she continued to burn me head out going on about it all night, saying how much she wants to try it because it sounds so mental. But then whenever I said, go ahead, let's do it, then she acted as if that I'd asked her to eat shite. Mwah. What lovely turn of phrase. Have a word and tell her you can't have it both ways, lads. Either go on saying how boss DMT would be and get on with it with us, or stop burning me head out if you're just going to flap whenever I say go on then. So basically... His missus sounds like she wants to do DMT. She's hyping it up and then bottling it.
Yeah. That is... I want to do DMT, but I'm terrified of doing any sort of drugs. Do you know what I mean? I have never been a drug guy, so... Like, I won't do it. Because I'm probably like her. I'd be like, yeah, we should do DMT. Like, you know, new year, new me and all that, but...
Can I just say, DMT... You've watched the pod with Paul Smith. Have you ever done DMT?
No.
Well, I've got some. Right. Can you imagine after 10 minutes, like, Adam, the fucking pyramid's like, it's, if you've never done drugs and a full dose of DMT with a fucking shaman is how you start. That's like a vegetarian who's never eaten meat going for like a fucking, like the Brazilian, like, what is it?
Viva Brazil. Ben Brazil.
And then just having meat sliced onto the plate and it all piled up like a meat feast. It's a lot to take on in your first go.
I feel like if I was going to do anything though now, I'd do that. I'd do that before I did heroin.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You don't need a shaman for heroin. It's a less spiritual. All sit round. Would you? If you had to do a drug, would it be DMT?
If I had to, yeah. If someone was gun to your head, you're doing something, lad, I'd do that because then
probably ruin the trip a bit, wouldn't it?
Well, apparently it makes you feel
DMT, like, do it.
Apparently it makes you feel safe though, doesn't it? And calm. So you just be like, oh, there is a man with a gun there, but everything's gonna be okay.
If she's unsure, do you reckon would that mindset go when she does it, or would she be like panicking when she's done it, going, "Oh God, I don't have any control"?
Yeah.
Would
You're not just not into any. You're not.
I've smoked the weed. Yeah. Big trip to Amsterdam, if you know what I mean, guys. Drug humour.
In all honesty, it is illegal, so that's where the humour ends there.
Would you ever do DMT?
What they say about it does sound good, like.
Does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's my bat, but I'd have, maybe.
Do you ever come down from it?
Apparently
No,
not.
apparently you can drive like 10 minutes later.
You can drive, do you want it? Just not well.
Probably leave it 20 though, just to be safe. Like literally, I'm out of the spiritual realm. Massive blue serpent. Okay, gonna have a piss and then get in the Volvo. Like, maybe leave it half an hour, have a walk around, check your fucking Twitter.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna have a word, she needs, like, I'm being a hypocrite, but you need to sort of either get on board or don't fucking be a dick tease about it. Do you know what I mean?
I think with this guy, you can't just, if she comes round to the idea and she's convinced, then fine, you can go and do it. Don't blag her. If she's obviously kind of interested, but then also a little bit worried. Don't be the boyfriend who's like, no, come on, you can do it. Because if it goes wrong, you're going to feel guilty.
Or
if she
just
has
go and do it on your own, lad. Like, just fuck it, innit?
It's a bit like anal, innit?
Or
if she's not into it, go and find someone else who will.
Just do it on your own.
Yeah. Just do it on your own.
Pokey bum wank.
That's not... What?
How's that not anal?
Well, it's not anal, is it? It's your anal.
How are you doing a pokey bum wank?
No, it is anal, but it's not like...
Oh, yeah.
That's not an alternative. Hey, love, can I fuck you in the ass? Absolutely not. Well, I'll go and finger myself then.
1-0 to me.
Shoulder!
Do you know what I mean? They're not like...
Can I ask a question about pokey bum wanks?
Sorry, let me just get ready.
Are
you ready for this?
Yeah.
He's a fan of the pokey bum wank.
No, I've done it. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, that's gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, compose yourself, sweet pea.
Go on.
What do you do? Do you just go in? Just go in dry?
Suck your finger.
Oh God!
Before and after.
Cha! Upset me, nasty bitch.
Just go up, and it's like you're trying to find
your wedding ring.
No, do you know when like you know there's a quid in your pocket, but you can't get it because it's in the lining. No. You're looking for the quid and you'll know when you find it.
Have you ever found a quid up there? Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like trying to find money and you like, you know when you like, when you can see the circle, but you're in your pocket and you're like, where the fuck's that gone? That's a pokey bum wank.
Is there a G spot up there?
Apparently so, yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like,
no, just
fucking James Brown in it.
I would say though, like,
this has been a really
if
fun
you're gonna
one.
have a pokey bum wank, you do need to be on your own.
No shit.
Like, you do look a bit pretzeled. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sort of
Leave Costco.
it looks like a dirty game of Twister, because like you sort of like
Left hand brown. Yeah.
yeah.
Left hand brown. Left hand brown. Beautiful. He's good at this.
What's the Tory rat one I want to do?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to try and follow fucking pokey bum wank?
Well, if it doesn't work, we'll edit his house. Well, we won't. He will. Let's make his job harder. Come on. Let's do 3 hours and get him to pick the best hour.
This one is from Stephen Groundwater. Says, skinny eyelid and chubby specs.
Skinny eyelid.
Yeah.
No way.
Have you never
I'm
done
all
it
for
before?
calling Dan a nonce and having a go at his teeth. Once you start getting personal with me, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
With his dirty finger. Been an avid listener since the start and need you to have a word with all the Tory cunts. I think this one might be political. First off, Boris tells us we can't go Spain unless essential, so can't get holiday insurance. The Tory rat! Need to cancel Spain holiday, but Ryanair decide to fly anyway and want another 750 quid to change flights. Tory rat! I fucking love this guy. Have a bit of a mini break in the UK, finishing off with a day at Thorpe Park, who tick all the COVID boxes without pulling anyone up for non-compliance. But best off, limit riders on rides for social distancing, but still every man and their dog in.
Oh, so the queues are still massive, but
Meaning
they're only letting half as many people
Yeah,
on.
meaning a total of 3 rides in 6 hours at 160 quid spent. All of these Tory rats cashing in on COVID need a serious word.
I'm so on board with this. Like, the
Cheers.
Tories are cunts. But I tell you what I'm getting fucking well and truly done with is companies blaming COVID for stuff they just can't be arsed doing. I went to London last week, didn't I? I was on the train, on the Avanti West Coast train from Liverpool to London. It's the expensive one. It's like 80 quid a ticket for a fucking train.
Tory rats.
And the plug socket wasn't on.
Yeah. I've had that.
And I went, "Hiya, mate, could you turn this on?" And I've had it before. And normally you go, "Could you turn these on?" And he goes, "Oh, it must have tripped." And he goes to his little thing. He presses a little switch and it comes on. And he went, "Sorry, mate, they're out of use because of COVID." And I went, "All right, okay." And I was like, that doesn't even make sense. And then on the train back, it was all on. And it just meant that this fucking train manager rat, lazy cunt and couldn't be arsed. And he was like, "I've got the excuse there." There's loads of companies doing it.
Yeah, limited menus are pissing me off.
Oh, yeah.
I know people are suffering, Stephen, but I want the snack wraps back at KFC. I really wish that was a joke. I really love the flaming snack wrap.
How often do you eat KFC? You've had it today.
Yeah.
Is that your go-to?
It's become my go-to, yeah. Trying to get my daughter into spicy chicken, but she's like, Daddy, it hurts my mouth. Shut up.
You know how you speak to a child.
Yeah.
Daddy, I'm having pain.
Grow
No,
the
you're not.
fuck up.
Fuck off. No
Finish-
daughter of mine is a fucking spice shit house.
Finish your Zinger Tower Burger.
Why are you getting in the zinger?
I'm not really. It's been for comedy.
Oh.
It's for the bands.
What you go to?
I don't know. I'm a bit...
Okay,
I'm so
cool.
basic.
How do you
I'm
mean
awful.
basic?
Like Nando's, that's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
Nando's is
simple.
great.
Are you one of the fruity nonces, or did you go for a bit of spice?
I like a bit of spice. Yeah.
Oh, okay. A real man.
Yeah.
What are we
Fruity
talking,
nonces.
Steve? Oh, like lemon and herb, mango and
Oh.
lime,
I thought,
passion fruit and regret. You know.
I go medium if I want to enjoy it, and then hot. I used to have the extra hot.
what's the alternative?
just sort of a bit of bad boy. Just,
Medium if I want to enjoy it. Extra hot if I'm showing off and I want a hurty poo.
Sat in Nando's on your own. Can I have triple XL, please? Because I'm here to impress myself.
I used to be really into spice, and I was not in the Manchester Piccadilly way. I was doing it. I once had the Carolina Reaper. Do that? It's up there with the world's hottest chilies. It might be, and I tried that. It's just the worst experience of my life, and I think ever since then I've been a little bit scarred by it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did the pepper challenge
Yeah, and it's one of those where
on for content, not just at home.
the content was awful. It's
Oh, was it?
It's just like me and my mate were just like, oh, I don't feel very well.
Going
for 20 minutes.
Anaphylactic shock.
Yeah. Then we turn it off, and then he's throwing up in the bathroom. Obviously, no one's filming that. And I just stood lean on the sink, about to pass out.
And then true Geordie separated you in the chilies. I think you need to fucking calm down.
I did a thing with Brennan Reese. Brennan Reese is going to be. Is he our next guest? Next week's guest?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, a comic from Manchester as well. I did Dubai with him. I did 10 days in Dubai, and we did a hot one challenge.
Yeah,
like this, like chicken place. I can't remember what it was called. Invited us down. Like all the comics that were on the bill. It was me, Brennan, and Rich Wilson. And they were like, yeah, so we'll give you all the food for free. And for the rest of your time in Dubai, you can just turn up here. We'll feed you. You can have whatever you want. But we need you to video you doing this challenge for you to do that. And we were like, okay. And they gave us 5 chicken strips. Each one got hotter. And I tried the first. I like spice as well. Like I get hot in Nando's when I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm a Madras guy in the curry house. I do like a spicy thing. The first piece of chicken was too spicy to me. And the last one was so red, it was black. Like there was that much, it was scary. Like it looked like if you touched it and then like scratched your face, it looked like you'd bleed. It was just horrendous. I had 2 strips. The second one was too much, and I was like, no. And then Brennan and Rich at the rest, and they were like crying and sweating and shit by the end.
Wow.
You know when they've got a camera there, it's not going to be good as well.
Yeah, and all their faces were like, go on, do it, yeah, do it.
Yeah, it's when everyone's giving you a meal going, we want to feed you, but we do want to record it.
Yeah.
It's not because you're like, that was delightful. It's because someone's about to have an aneurysm.
Oh, awful. Is that a podcast?
Is it a pod? It's weird that I fancy some chicken. It's probably weird.
We had chicken half an hour ago.
Big fat fuck.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Where can everyone find all your shit?
Stephen Tries on whatever it'll be. We got a podcast. It's not as funny. It's not filmed very well. Background shit as well. Stay here, to be honest.
I can see you're the kind of businessman. This is what you lost, TikTok. This is what you lost.
If you love the podcast, get yourself some merch at haveawaypod.com. And if you love this shit, please do us a favour. The subscribers are slowly going up. Subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell. And if you want an extra episode every week, patreon.com/haveawaypod. It starts at £3 a month. You get early access to these public episodes.
So
you get an exclusive episode every single week, which you don't get with many other places.
That's good.
And it's really ticking up. It's becoming a proper little insiders club. Patreon.com/haveawaypod.
The orange hoodie. We're going to do one more week of the orange hoodie competition. Yes. So if you want to win the one of 3 orange hoodie, and me and Dan have got the other 2. It's the third one. We didn't get any more made. You need to subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell, send us a screenshot of you doing that, and also asking a mate to do the same if you don't mind. Bye, Felicia. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, guys.
Felicia.